Hurts is gonna have to switch it up once in a while and just throw a freaking bomb to AJ Brown, and then that's gonna change the whole game a bit. And then now they're gonna start respecting the pass, and that's when you start going right back at it and smash mouth, just put it in their mouth. As much as I hate
Hey,
the Eagles,
pause.
like I said,
Pause.
Put it in there. What?
put it in their mouth and just smash mouth football, baby.
Happy Super Bowl Sunday, everybody. Let's fucking go. Of course, I'm your host, Jacobs, joined as always by Feisty and Mr. Syme, Philly John, live in Philly right now, getting ready for the Super Bowl. Man, I'm so excited. We are starting before the game, obviously, and we're going to get the news and we're going to get everything out, the awards, and then we're going to react to the Super Bowl in the second part of this. Let's see if Syme still has that smile on his face. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's.
Put me on suicide watch. You guys are gonna have to call me like every hour of the night after we lose.
Oh
You're not
no!
gonna sleep either, man. Or my life is in your hands.
Well, dude, it literally is because you know that mayor can't grease them poles, can't
No,
spell, can't do nothing. I am actually a little worried for you now.
oh yeah, I'm gonna jump off a pole. If we lose, I'll just jump off one head first. I don't care.
Okay. All right, let's get into news. Some big news. NFL continuing to go global, man. We're going to Australia and then Ireland, baby. I'm excited about this. You see the red beard. Hup, 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 hup. Let's fucking go, baby. I have some Irish in me, if you couldn't tell. So the Rams are going to play in Australia as the home team, and the Steelers are going to play in Ireland. I know the Rooney family has deep ties to Ireland and everything, so let's fucking go, dude. I think that'll be cool. Obviously teams are going to be upset about that, and they have to travel all this way. But for the NFL, for global reach, it's awesome, man. I'm excited about this.
I think it's actually one of those things that they got to continue to do it, man. Football's becoming a international sport now. You've seen how many recruiting is happening, how much the basketball has been always that international sport, and obviously soccer, but now football, American football, to be involved in it. This is awesome. I think this is only a great opportunity, and Derek, he loves them Steelers, so maybe catch me in Ireland. No, just kidding. But that would be super sick.
I mean, I think they need to do it. I heard that the most popular team in London where they've been doing these games is the Jags, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
the Jaguars.
Which makes you think these owners need to jump on this if they have the opportunity, because you know what I mean? Like,
Well, dude, Ireland popped off because college football went there for the
The
kickoff
Notre
of the
Dame.
season last
Yeah.
season or whatever.
okay.
And yeah, it was big over there. And I learned too, they have their own football league, they want to get into it. It's a good market. And then obviously Australia is Australia. So and the Rams being in LA, I guess the shortest flight or whatever. We don't know who is going to play them yet. It hasn't been announced, but those are the home teams for the respective countries. So yeah, it's what the NFL is going to do, man. We're just gonna continue to grow, and that's why it's the best sport in the fucking world, baby.
I heard whispers that they had asked you guys would have to fact check me on this, but I just heard things like they were asking the Eagles if they wanted to do it again, and I heard Jeffrey Lurie said he's not interested in the Australia game. I mean, I would understand.
Really?
I understand a team like that is in contention, right? Like that doesn't want to that can't afford any of these big mistakes during the season, where they have to, you know what I mean, kind of remain
Yeah.
focused.
Yeah.
Well, even look at you guys
Traveled.
played in Brazil week 1,
Yeah.
right? And you had that crazy turf, everybody slipping
Yeah.
all the time, and you were worried about those injuries and stuff. It's not as easy as just going to play a football game. There's a lot more that goes on with it.
Well,
Yeah.
and the preparation and the time difference, it almost makes you where you have to give your players a little bit more time to recover from it. And so it's there is a lot involved in trying to get an international game going. But like Syme said, I think it's a huge market, and you got to jump in and capitalize on it because that's new fans. That's fans that are excited about it. And the Jaguars have definitely capitalized on that because they've been able to play every year out there. And
Yeah.
now you see everywhere
Well,
Jags
I think
jerseys because they've been able to go out there so much. So
Roger keeps talking about like getting a team full time in London and trying to do that and get
Wow.
like
that
every
like
year.
No, like yeah,
Damn.
they have their own team, have their own division. I think they'd have to be in the whatever AFC. I guess at the AFC South, right? That's what the Jags are in. And then moving on, we have some trade requests happening. Miles Garrett requested trade after the GM came out of the Browns and said, "We're not trading this guy. He's our franchise guy." And then Miles Garrett, like a week later, I need to get the fuck out of Cleveland. And I do not blame him. He's talking about he wants to go to a contending team. He wants to win. I think in his post, he was like, it was never about like starting my career and ending my career in Cleveland and going to Canton or whatever. It's about winning. That's his priority. He wants to win. He wants to go to a franchise that can do it. Obviously, the Browns, he is the only bright spot about the Browns these days. We talk about him all the time. Best defensive player in the league, best pass
Best
rusher
defensive player.
by far, as we know. Man, this is, I don't know if he'll actually get moved. A lot of people are saying that this is kind of a like negotiation contract maybe play because he is very severely underpaid in the pass rushing market. So we'll have to see what happens. I know the Patriots have, I know I say it all the time, but this time the Patriots have that number 4 pick. They have a lot of cap space. We can get him to a deal. I wouldn't mind trading for him at the right price. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket to go get him, but that's a position we definitely need. I mean, we need every position besides quarterback and special teams, obviously, Simon, as you know.
Didn't he say he wanted to go to a contender though, Kyle?
Yeah, that's why he would be
Yeah,
actually be
he'd be
perfect for
perfect
the
for the
Cowboys.
Patriots.
No,
Oh,
for the
okay,
Cowboys.
yeah, yeah.
He would be.
Miles Garrett, and I quote, the
Okay.
Eagles would be one hell of a destination. That is a
What?
Miles Garrett quote right there. I'm
Nah.
not lying. Bro, you want me
When
to
did
put
he say that?
well, I need to start playing this audio for you guys, man. Of course, I'm down so many rabbit holes. It's probably all AI. I'm an old man. I get fooled every 5 seconds.
But realistically, though, I think he could go there. I mean, if he's looking for a contender team and a good defensive team,
But they
Eagles
can't
could
pay.
be
You
an
guys
option.
can't pay him though, right? Like I heard
Yeah,
you guys are
Yeah,
the most expensive roster, right? Like you've
yeah,
already paid everybody pretty much.
yeah. It's we got to re-sign Zach Bond, the All Pro linebacker. I
Linebacker.
mean, that's going to cost I think 13 to 14 million dollars a year or something like that. We're going to dump Darius Slay. Darius Slay is actually 15 mil a year.
Wow.
It's that the dependable veteran corners are still, you know what I mean? The market is still,
yeah, high for them, that's for sure. But I
yeah,
mean, he could probably realistically, like even like the Ravens, like there's teams that are still just one small push away from it. Like the Ravens, he can go to the Bills. They
yep.
have a good defensive team, and so I was just joking about the Cowboys thing because like one of my coworkers at work was like, and he's like, Miles Garrett requested trade. What do you think about him at the Cowboys? And I was like, bro, you're dreaming. I mean, I think it would be that's the thing that Simon talks about with me looking at the ceiling and trying to make things work, And so I think it would be cool to have him on the opposite side of Micah Parson, but I don't think it's realistically happening to either the Cowboys or the Patriots just because if he is really wanting to win, I think we're
Hey,
still all of us are still a year or two away from being that contention team.
it is true. I think one thing that not a lot of people know though, Vrabel was in Cleveland last year,
Mm,
the whole year, and I think that could, like
good play.
Vrabel's
Yeah.
respected, and he might be able to work something. And I think Drake May is going to change that kind of narrative. Like I think he is that quarterback that people will want to come play and believe in this team, and especially with Vrabel. That's why I think like I obviously you're not winning the Super Bowl next year. It's what I talked about I think a couple podcasts ago, but I think we can win 7-8 games next year, and then we get all these weapons. We build that line. We build through it. I think we could contend
Mm.
in a short time, but I yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like that's the thing though. Where does he go? Like you're talking about. Obviously, the Cowboys wouldn't work because Myles Garrett would be better somewhere else. It wouldn't work for the Cowboys, right?
Mm-hmm. 100%. Maybe go to the
he
Steelers.
would be
Actually,
he would be better in another system. Is what Jerry
yeah.
Jones would say. We wouldn't want to
Definitely not
take
the
him.
Cowboys or the Patriots. But
Five, that's funny. You said he'd look really good on the other side of Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons doesn't have another side. He's everywhere. You know what I mean?
it
Like,
is
Yes,
true.
what's the other
It is
side?
true.
What's
That
the
that
other
is
side?
Yeah,
yeah.
that is very true. But I think that realistically, you put those two on like wherever he
Yeah,
ends
Jerry
up
still has
playing.
to pay Micah Parsons too, by the way, which he probably
Yeah,
won't. But
Wow, could
we're
you
stuck
imagine?
anyway, so it
Could
doesn't
you
matter.
imagine Micah going? I mean, in another jersey. That boy, my
Eh,
God.
Then at that point, I think there's riots at you know how every year when the first game starts, home game, and like the fans are rushing the stadium. Yeah, I think
Mhm.
people would come and try to burn that whole stadium down if that happened. Like Jerry Jones is, yeah, not that I really don't think that Miles Garrett is going anywhere
I don't
near
think
Dallas.
I don't yeah, exactly. I
Uh,
don't think he moves. I just don't see like a perfect situation to get him out, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think they're just going to have to pay him
yeah,
or
maybe.
he leaves
I
in
wonder.
free
Yeah, I
agency.
wonder how much. What Fies was saying. I mean, I wonder how much room like the those can. I wonder. I don't know. I don't know how much room the Bills or the
Ravens
Ravens
or
have. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't
Yeah,
know. He's going to cost you a lot of money, man.
see, and that's where because the Patriots have all the fucking cap in the world, what 120 million or something. So it's like that's where that becomes like a destination, I guess, because you know that we can pay and we will overpay. Like we've tried
Yeah.
to get all of these wide receivers in recent time, but I don't know. My guess is that he stays in Cleveland. I think just because I don't think there's a way you can work it out. I don't, you'd have to give a haul to get Myles Garrett. I mean, multiple first rounds. This dude's a dog, obviously, as we know. Feisty, best
yeah.
defensive player in the
Hey,
league by far.
imagine him with the Steelers. Not gonna happen, but imagine him on the Steelers and him and TJ Watt on the other side. Ooh, then who's the best defense? So there's this joke with Mr. Wesley, our buddy, and we always joke that Miles Garrett is a better defensive player than TJ Watt. And so imagine if they did that, they pulled that off, man. Yeesh.
Yeah. Right. Steel curtain, man.
There you go.
Steel curtain number two.
Hey, another big name though that's in the trade market, Cooper Cup. So he actually made a post on his own Instagram. He was the guy that wanted to finish his career in LA. He loves the Rams, but he came out and basically put the Rams on blast. Hey, they want to trade me. I don't agree with the decision. Um, and yeah, so I guess he is on the move. I think we kind of saw this coming. We heard those like rumors in the middle of the season, right before the Rams kind of went on their run and did good. But yeah, he might be on the move. I know, again, talk about it, but the Patriots, our wide receiver, Kendrick Bourne, he went to college with him at Eastern Michigan. And he's already recruiting Cooper Cup. And when I initially saw this, I was like, no, like, don't want this guy because honestly, to be fair, he is old. He is losing it. Obviously, Puka came in, took over. He's the dynamic wide receiver now for the Rams. They're definitely building around him. But Cooper Cup is just like what 2-3 years removed from that Triple Crown season where he just went bazooka. But what convinced me where I do actually want him is Andrew Whitworth, who played with him at his former left tackle. He talks about how Cooper Cup is just a genius. He understands the entire offense. He's not just a wide receiver. You know, he knows how to game plan. I think that would be amazing for a young quarterback like Drake May. So again, we have the room, we have the assets to be able to get him. And honestly, we've seen it. Amari Cooper goes for what, a fifth rounder, fourth
Fifth
rounder,
round,
and
yeah, fifth round,
DeAndre Hopkins goes for a third rounder, maybe, or
third or
something
fourth. I don't remember. Yeah.
and I think we can get Cooper Cup, but it is sad that he wants to stay there. But yeah, I wonder where he ends up. I know Steelers is a big destination. I think they're like the betting odds favorite to get him in a trade.
So, so I did see something this morning actually, and it was just on Instagram, so I don't know how legitimate it is. but I saw that the Broncos are also super interested in
Ooh.
him, and that they actually would have a good package for him. Like I said, I don't know how realistic it is, but I saw it on Instagram saying that Cooper Cup could be heading to the Broncos, which I think that actually would work out really well too, because they have that young Bo Nix quarterback who's been, who proved really well this season, and you get a veteran quarterback who's super smart like that with what he was able to do with the receivers he had this year. I
I was
think
gonna
that
say,
could be
and
a good opportunity.
that's kind of the thing they're missing, because Cortland
Yeah,
Sutton's obviously a dog, but he's the big shot threat, the moonball kind of guy. They don't really have that slot guy, which Cooper Cup could definitely
yeah,
open up for them
maybe.
and really make them contenders. That makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't know. And again, I'm gonna say it because it's my team. I don't think he's going to the Cowboys. Like realistically, we don't have anything to do with. I know we
Yeah.
need a second receiver, right? Like CD Lamb needs help, but I don't think that we're doing anything in this trade with Cooper Cup. But I could see him with the Steelers. I could see him with the Broncos. I don't see him go. Oh, the Bills. That would be a dangerous
Mm.
combo. Like if he take him and freaking Josh Allen. Oh man, that might be what he needed because he was able to do with what he did this year. Talk about it, right? So I don't know. I really think that it's either going to be those three teams, either the Bills, the Broncos, or the Steelers that he ends up going. I don't think he goes to any of our teams as much as you guys need a wide receiver. I don't think he could go to the Eagles, obviously, but the Patriots might have a chance. I think my top three would probably be the Broncos, Steelers, and then the Bills can make a move for him. So I'll have to
Yeah,
keep an eye on
he
him.
still has a little bit left in the tank. When he played the Eagles in the first game they played, he had a huge game, man, and he tied Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean plays nickelback, and they were lining up Cup in a slot, and he was tying this rookie in knots, man. So he is a great veteran presence. And the
Smart.
team, I think, yeah, oh my God, yeah, the team, I think, look, I'm just going here. He's going to the Bills, man. I think that does sound good, man.
Yeah,
But Shakir plays that same role though, right? Like he's a slot receiver too, and I feel like Shakir obviously younger and
Yeah,
cheaper. I don't think the Bills have to go for that. I think
yeah, 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 yeah,
it's a good dream scenario, but like I think they'd rather go for the young guy and they don't have
yeah.
to pay him as much as Cooper Cup is getting or whatever.
I would.
I
I
think
I, I think I disagree with you guys on that. I don't see the Bills like I'm not in that same
I was
mindset,
just
but
thinking,
I see
yeah,
what you're saying though. Like it makes sense, and he would be good with Josh Allen. It's not like he makes the team worse. I'm not saying that, but the logistics or whatever, I guess.
yeah. I was just thinking he might want to go to a competitor, and
Yeah,
end
That,
his career. But I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe he
and
wants to.
that's it. That's the
it's
thing
wild
for
for
it.
him to post that too. Like I do not want to leave LA, but they are they
Yeah,
are
right,
going to trade me. You know what I mean? That's it's kind of sad. And speaking
right.
of another sad situation, 2 years removed from that fucking I don't know if you guys remember that like nonsense thing that happened with Debo Samuel and I'm never returning to the Niners, don't want to come back. Well, he requested a trade again. I don't know about this guy. He definitely had a down year last year. Our boy Sean could tell you that. He was on his fantasy team and he basically rode his bench, I think, all season. Yeah, so he requested a trade. That just came out today. Don't want this guy. I'll tell you that. He would not be good with the Patriots if we want to go there. You know who he would be perfect, though? The Cowboys. Now we're
Ah.
talking.
Now you're talking my language. Yeah, no thanks. I don't want Debo Samuel. I don't want anybody from the Niners. It just caused issues and drama. Like there was that whole Debo Samuel thing, and then there was what's his name? Their other wide receiver.
Ayuk.
Ayuk, that they had issues too. And then the way freaking Christian McCaffrey did me this year, I'm not dealing with any Niners players. F you Niners gang. You can lick my balls actually. That's all I gotta say.
Sime,
I
do you
don't.
know that Feist is wearing a dress this year for our fantasy
Oh,
football
is
league?
he? That was a punishment,
Yes,
huh?
sir.
Well, where's he wearing it? Where's he wearing it?
At the
Church?
draft party next year.
Church?
Church would be nice.
Surprise,
Too.
surprise.
Transitioning.
Uh,
You got any thoughts on Debo, Sime, or I don't know?
he's a
Is
head
this guy
case.
kind of
He's a
an
head
afterthought?
case, man. I don't have my. I think the 49ers may be in a difficult spot right here. I think the league. I, I think that Purdy's about to get paid. By the way, what is it
Dude.
next year? Next year, Purdy's going to get paid. That's going to screw them up. They missed their window. I do not trust that McCaffrey's going to be healthy. What? He's a running back. He's around 30 years old.
Yep.
We are about to. I mean, that's just
Been
father
injury
time.
prone his whole career
Oh
too.
man,
Like,
father time is undefeated, man. So I hate the 49ers. I do not like them. I wish nothing but bad for them, and
Yes,
I
sir.
look forward to the decline, man. I hate that team.
look at that. Look at that. A
Yeah,
That's
Cowboys
the
and
one
Eagles
thing I
fan
could
coming
ever agree
together.
with you, man. Let's fucking
I hate
go,
those
man.
guys, man. I hate them. I hate that team.
Oh, speaking of
Yeah.
Father Time, I was very excited to get to this, man. It came out right before we recorded, and I'm just going to let you guys take it. The Jets have decided to move on from Aaron Rodgers. The floor is yours.
Na 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 na
Na
na
na na
na
na.
na.
Hey,
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 hey.
hey.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Aaron Rodgers. You better
Yeah.
go back to that cave you came from. And what is it, Simon? What do I say?
He's smoking that Alaska.
Alaska, baby. Get him out of here, man.
Oh my god.
That did not take long.
He deserves everything he gets, man. He's a nasty human, man. You know, he's a nasty dude. Um, I don't like him. I don't like his politics. I don't like the way that apparently he is estranged from his parents. They don't talk. They haven't talked for like 10, 15 years. Um, you know, he broke up with Danica Patrick. I would never have done that ever. That's another bad move. Oh,
Vroom, vroom,
my
vroom.
God. Yeah, right.
Hey, man. What an
So,
idiot, dude. Yeah, like Sai said, he definitely deserves everything that's coming at him. I think he's gonna probably move on and go hang out with your Pat McAfee show, and just hang out on there and be a guest every week. But like, dude, I used to like Aaron Rodgers when he was with Green Bay, and then when he did the whole shenanigans with Green Bay, never liked him since. And then he goes to the Jets, and he. Here's the thing, man. Robert Saleh was a good coach. Yes, he may not have been like a good, yeah, but I know what you're gonna say. He wasn't a good head coach, but give him a couple years, man. Like you're just gonna fire him in middle of the season too. Like,
Well, they had a couple years. Like I think he had been there 2, 3 years before
what
Aaron
was it,
Rodgers
3 years?
even
Well,
got there.
either way, but the way that they handled that whole situation, it was because of
True,
Aaron
true.
Rodgers. And then you go in and bring in Devontae Adams from the Raiders. You bring in all the people that you thought you needed. You just destroyed that team, dude. And now I can see where, Devontae Adams does not have a good season. I could definitely say where Garrett Wilson doesn't have a good season. And then that defense that they have, that young defense that they have, man, you just screwed him and he's gone now. So it's like, goodbye, good riddance. I'm not mad about it. I'm actually very excited and happy. This kind of screws the Jets, but that's how that owner is. And he also probably has dementia, just like Jerry Jones. So,
Well, unlike you, I'm very sad about this. I wanted Aaron Rodgers to remain a Jet for the rest of his career.
yeah.
Because man, what a shit show. This is an anti-Jets move, actually. Like this is something the Jets never do. I think they're the longest standing franchise without a playoff win of all like four major sports.
Wow.
They're the dog shit of the league. And yeah, them moving on is probably good for them, and that is why I'm sad, because I think Aaron Glenn, like you just spoke about that defense, man, they have the talent. They really do. They got Sauce Gardner. They have what's his name, the defensive
Defensive
tackle.
end. Yeah.
What's his fucking name? I'm
Williams
blanking on it
something.
right now. Yeah. And they got guys all around, all three levels too. And that, like you said, Robert Solid, that defense was, I think, top 10, top 5 in the league while he was the head coach, and then it became one of the worst as soon as he got fired. So definitely a good defensive mind. They have the talent, and now they're ushering in a new era by moving on from Aaron Rodgers. Damn it. Fuck. Fuck.
Two things, man. I mean, the skill set is obviously eroded. You can watch it. I've seen it, but The other thing is, shame on the Jets, man. They had a nice defense this year. They have a lot of young talent. And Rodgers was. I'm looking at the stats right now.
He did okay.
He was not that bad, dude.
He
Look at
did all
his.
right.
My God, I think his passer rating was 90, and he was. I mean, shockingly enough, he was like in pass yards. He threw for almost 4,000 yards, 28 tutties, 11 picks. Why were they losing every single game?
Because they're the fucking Jets, buddy. Oh my God! Like Fi said, the owner with dementia, man. I mean, like, what was their record when they fired Saleh? Like maybe 2-3 or 2-4
Yeah, they
or
weren't
something
that
like that.
bad.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and yeah, that's a hole that you got to dig out of, but.
Yeah.
I think they could have been better with him, and yeah, I think that's the reason. Like we're talking all this shit on Aaron Rodgers, and rightfully so. But like you just pointed out, Simon, 11 picks. That is like his worst. If you look up his
Oh,
career
I know.
stats, you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
yeah.
Like he doesn't throw picks, and 11 picks ain't that bad. Like Patrick Mahomes has 11 picks this year. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but Aaron Rodgers doesn't turn the ball over, and he played decent this year. Like he played pretty good football, but it never got recognized because they're always losing games. They didn't
Yes.
have a head coach in there that knew what he was doing. Bless or not Brick Johnson. That's the owner's son who's done some shit.
Yo, that's
Coach Brick or
mad
whatever.
dog dummy, yo.
The inner yes, sir. Exactly. But their interim head coach, like he wasn't ready to be a head coach. He was in over his head, and that's the Jets. So
Well,
unfortunately,
speculate with me for a second here, guys. I mean, you guys love to speculate. Where's he? Where could he go?
like I
He's
said,
not?
the Vikings. I like the Vikings. I like him with the Vikings. With Kevin O'Connell, with Justin Jefferson, you don't have to pay him that much. You get to mentor JJ McCarthy. I think that's the perfect fit.
So you think they let Sam Darnold walk then?
I would. I mean, if you're because you're probably putting your eggs in the JJ McCarthy basket, right? Like you drafted him in the first round. He obviously wasn't able to play this year, and then you had that end of the season where Sam Darnold didn't look that good. I think you could pay Aaron Rodgers a cheap contract.
Statistically, he had a better year than he had a pretty comparable year to Darnold. I mean,
but the
But
Darnold
obviously
has
Darnold
the
was
upside.
winning games. The Vikings were
Yeah.
winning games, so you think that Darnold
Yeah.
that. But I like that. I mean, Steelers maybe is another option for him. I don't see him having that success because the Steelers can't fucking figure out the offense for the life.
The Steelers do not suffer fools. He ain't going to the Steelers. They don't.
Nah.
They ain't gonna do that.
What do you guys think, though? What are your guys'?
Dude, I think
what's the perfect
your
definition?
Minnesota was a fantastic. I mean, that's what comes to mind. But
Makes
do you
sense.
want to jeopardize with all his BS? Do you want to jeopardize? What are they? A 14 win?
Mm-hmm.
14 win team?
14 win, but first loss in the playoffs. They lost first round.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I think you could do it.
All right.
So you like the Vikings too, Simon? What about you, Feist?
I think that's a great pick, man.
I think he belongs in the bench on the couch. I think he deserves to be on the Pat McAfee show, just chilling and doing whatever Ashwagandha, Alaska crap he's been doing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see him on a team realistically. I really don't. I think that if any team takes him, I think you're taking a big chance on an old quarterback, right? Like, I get it. Tom Brady did it, but Tom Brady is a different breed, man. That guy keeps his body in shape. He spends millions of dollars on his body, his food. Like,
hey, that's like talking to Simon about Chip Kelly. Don't compare Aaron Rodgers to Tom Brady.
But I'm just saying.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying. Like those.
If you want me to go off for 17, 18 minutes about how great Tom Brady is, I will.
No, we don't need that. But I'm just saying, like, you look at those quarterbacks that did it at that age.
Yeah.
They're just on a different level, and I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is there. I don't think he's going on in any team next year. I think he's going nowhere.
How about the Giants?
Nah, they're ready to move on, man. They're ready for a new quarterback.
From New York, He doesn't have to move.
He moved right across the city. Man.
Same stadium.
Just take a big shit in the same stadium. It's the same stadium. They play at the Meadowlands. It's perfect, right?
Nah, dude. The Giants are stupid. for the whole Saquon Barkley
Imagine
thing.
being a New York fan,
But
man.
actually, they could do
That's
that.
tough. That's
They
tough.
could do that. That would be a Giants move.
That I took. That it's a perfect place for him, man.
Imagine if the Giants did that. That's a perfect Giants move. But
All right.
I think they're ready for a young quarterback. I just don't see Aaron Rodgers on the team next year.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess
whatever.
we'll have to wait, for his process to be figured out. We have to wait for the
Yeah.
Alaska to
Yeah,
settle
right.
in.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Before he makes his decision.
Yeah. He's got to go down to the jungles of Panama or some crap like that. He's gonna sit out on some blanket. He's gonna have. That's gonna be ridiculous,
It's gonna be
man.
amazing. They're gonna do a sacrifice, and he's gonna be covered in the blood.
The blood of Jets fans.
All right. Before we make this an entire Aaron Rodgers is dog shit
It's funny.
podcast, let's move along to some good people. Let's get into the NFL awards. So those came out. Let's start with Coach of the Year. We were just talking about the Vikings, Kevin O'Connell. This dude is a dog and well deserving. I mean, look what he did with Sam fucking Darnold. I mean, like you, I think Simon, you were the one that said he'd be perfect to go back to the Jets right now. Like he looks good, but I think that Kevin O'Connell made him look a lot better than he might be because he's just a dog. I mean, look what he did with the Pastronaut or whatever they called him, Joshua Dobbs. Like this guy can coach anybody, and that offense looks amazing. He's a great play caller, and I think he was the Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator for the Rams when they beat the Bengals. Well deserving, man. I think there was some other name like Dan Campbell was up there with his great season, but I like this. Kevin O'Connell did what he did with Sam Darnold. Not a lot of coaches that could do that. That's for sure.
Yeah, he definitely didn't have the talent. And I think that's why he won it because of what he was able to do with that team. In my opinion, I think Dan Campbell should have won it, but I see why because Dan Campbell did have the talent. He had a good offense, he had a good defense. That team was built up from the year before. And yes, they did come short again, but I think the biggest thing for me is that Kevin O'Connell was able to do it with such little talent. So well deserved. I mean, you just have to give his roses because of what he was able to do.
So my only issue, I got no problem with it, man. But when is Nick Sirianni going to get his flowers, man? Last year, we had the.
I'll say this. Let me interject on you, Simon. He'll never win Coach of the Year because there's a level of expectation on it. It's the same thing with Bill Belichick. How many Coach of the Years does Bill Belichick have? 1, 2, something like that. You know what I mean? And it's a crazy. I don't know why Nick Sirianni gets all this fucking hate. He's a genius, actually. He's a great head coach. 2 Super Bowls, 4 years, making the playoffs every year. It's insane with all the turnover, but he's just not going to get it because there's that level of expectation that they're always supposed to. And that's what I saw with Bill Belichick being a Patriots fan. It's like, how the fuck is the greatest head coach of all time, have 1 or 2 Coach of the Years to his name? It's kind of, and we'll get into the MVP a little bit later, but it's just that flashy kind of new, like Kevin O'Connell, and like I said, give him his roses. Like he did great, but
what you mean?
Saying, Sirianni deserves a lot of credit, and he might be the Coach of the Year, and we'll see tonight. But yeah, it's just that award that you'll never get because you're supposed to be good.
Yeah,
basically.
Now we could get into a whole nother. Okay, so wait, hold on. So my only reason, no. My only reason for the Sirianni thing this year is because we had that epic collapse last year, and he was on the hot seat, like getting fired. And I just think it was a really good story. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he deserves it, but I'm saying he should have been in the conversation. Now, the comment you made about Bill Belichick being the greatest head coach of all time, there are a couple people that I think are deserving, right? One, Bill Walsh, right? Excuse me. He invents the West Coast offense. He wins, what, four Super Bowls on like 4 or 5 Super Bowl appearances, and a great Vince Lombardi. We could have this discussion. I'm not saying Bill's not the best, but I'm just saying we have to have the conversation. And he had Tom Brady.
Mm. It is true about that last comment though. We see what happens when Tom Brady wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I think the realistic thing is here is that
You
Nick
give me Mac
Sirianni
Jones.
definitely
I mean, come
deserves
on.
it. Mac Jones, get out of here. We definitely
Give
have
him a
seen it with
break.
Sirianni, right? Like, as much as I hate the Eagles, I think he's a really, really good head coach. Like you said, last year they just broke apart, and
Yeah.
somehow he was able to build them back together. And you're at a Super Bowl appearance, right? I think
Yeah.
the saddest part is gonna be if, and I hope it when the Super Bowl ends and you guys don't win. I think he's can, dude.
He's
I
not gonna
hope that it
get
doesn't happen, right? Like I want the Eagles to I want the Eagles to win. But I think if you guys don't win, I think it's gonna
he's
be one
not
of
gonna
those
get.
things where
I don't think he's gonna get fired, but we're gonna have the same conversation next year, which is just insane. Like 2 Super Bowl appearances in 4 years,
yeah.
and you're talking about getting him fired. Like it's so
Well, didn't
asinine.
well
And
didn't
he, like
all
I said, he has to go through all this coordinator. Has he had a consecutive? Simon, you would know this. Has he had a consecutive coordinator at the offense or defensive position in his tenure?
No.
Like that, and he has to deal with that all the
Straight up,
fucking
no.
time. And
No, has
now
not had it.
we're gonna get it. Let's just talk about it. Kelly Moe to the Saints. That has already been announced, I guess, even before the Super
Yeah.
Bowl. We all kind of knew this was going to happen. We talked about it last week.
it's the same trend.
And so here we go again, man. Here we go again. Hopefully he can keep Vic Fangio on the defense because he's been awesome for you guys. But yeah, Kelly Moe out of there. Simon, you were talking about not really. It's crazy. Simon was saying you said that he's not even the best offensive coordinator for your offense, and here
No.
you are in the Super Bowl. Crazy,
The
crazy.
the team is stacked, man. I mean, that's why I'm biased, but that's why I think we should win this thing. You know what I mean? And then
Yep.
this is making me sick, but like, so when we lost the Super Bowl 2 years ago, Gannon was horsing around. Our defensive coordinator was horsing around in Arizona, where the Super Bowl was. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
coincidence.
Yep.
And we lose the Super Bowl possibly because he was not focused in that game. And now we got the same thing this year
And the
with
Chiefs don't ever have to deal with that, like we talked about last week.
never.
Yeah.
The
No,
Chiefs,
no.
they got their coordinators locked in. They're
It's
fine.
already locked in. That's the one criticism of Nick Sirianni is he's not a play caller. He's a great team
Yep.
motivator. The team loves him. He can rally the troops, but he does not. Well, let me rephrase that. I think he is very heavily involved in offense and offensive schemes, but he does not call plays unless it is a go for it on fourth down.
Which you guys obviously have that tush push all the time that you know
Yeah.
can. It's almost not fourth down in that scenario, but
Yep. Exactly.
yeah. But let's transition to Kelly Moe with the Saints. Is this a guy that can kind of turn that franchise around? I mean, he is. They are severely under the cap. We know how fucked they are. We talked about that a while ago. So he is going in with handcuffs on for sure. Is this the guy that can, kind of build? I guess get that franchise out. You know what I mean? Like up from the dirt. Like because they're I've never hated the Saints, man. I always loved the Saints. I loved Drew Brees, Sean Payton. It was always fun. It was fun to watch. And now they're just so fucked with everything that happened. Is Kelly Moe the guy that can get him out?
I mean, I think the biggest no, obviously the biggest thing to say and the right thing to say is no because Kelly is just an offensive coordinator, man, and he's not the best offensive coordinator. Like even when he was with the Cowboys, he was a really good offensive coordinator, but there was times where you question things, right? And now him being the head coach, everything is on your head, right? Like every decision that is made is on your head. And I just don't think he's ready yet. I think he's a good offensive corner. I think that's where he belongs. I think the Saints are going to be doing the same thing again in a couple years, if they even give him a couple years, where they're going to be looking for a new head coach, and maybe that makes way for Mister McCarthy for him to go over there next year. But I don't think that this is not going to help anybody on the Saints.
I I can't tell if this move is a move where when you bring a guy in and you're kind of killing time, but you want to build your program, and then you're
Yeah,
gonna.
by
I don't
time.
because the roster is not that good, so I don't know what's up. But to your point, to the question, Kyle, that you asked is, what do you think? Is he going to be good for the Saints? Is he going to? it remains to be seen. We're about to see what this guy's really made of as he steps
Mm.
into a head coaching position. All he was an OC, and I'm not
Yep.
minimizing that, but I mean, being a head coach is a whole different deal, man. And he doesn't seem particularly animated on the sidelines. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I mean,
Right.
it's hard to look animated alongside a goofball Nick Sirianni, but
Big dumb dipshit. What they call him. All right, let's move on to the comeback player of the year, which is Joe Burrow, and very well deserving. Obviously, I can't remember what he ended the season last year with. Pretty big injury. Talk about comeback player of the year. This dude could have been MVP. He led the league in passing yards, almost 5,000 yards, 4,918, and led the league in passing touchdowns, 43. So talk about a defense that fucking is dog
Oh,
shit. This dude literally could be MVP. Probably should. You could argue that he should have been MVP if you look at all the stats, but he was on a team that didn't win, obviously didn't make the playoffs. So that was against him, but definitely deserving of comeback player of the year. This dude's a dog, one of one. Congrats to Joe Burrow. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little Patriots biased where I think Christian Gonzalez could have been in the running. I think he finished fifth in comeback player of the year because he ended his season with a shoulder injury last year, and he was one of the best corners, but definitely can't be Joe Burrow in this scenario. Well deserved.
no, especially the injury, gruesome injury he had, right? Like to be able to come back and put up the numbers he had every week when we talked about the Bengals, we talked about Joe Burrow and then how terrible the defense was.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's literally what it came down to. Joe Burrow was doing his thing. Chase Brown was doing his thing. Like they just put together such a good offense that their
Jamar Chase,
defense,
Triple Crown winner.
yeah, they couldn't. And that's even like that gives Joe Burrow. Without Joe Burrow, that doesn't happen, right? And so I think that it really is just Joe Burrow took this team, and whether they finish like 8-8 or something like that,
9-8, I think.
nine and
Missed
eight.
the
So
playoffs.
and just barely missed the playoffs. And so I think that the only situation that Joe Burrow has, this past season was the off-season stuff, like the off-field stuff. But other than that, the guy let him smoke his cigarette or whatever he does. Um, I think he had a
Yeah, see,
phenomenal season. So let him enjoy this one because he deserves it. I don't think anybody else really came down to the numbers he put up and the
no,
injury he had. So
not even close.
pimp. He dresses like a pimp. The
yep,
guy is a pimp, dude. He's
yep.
unbelievable. I would love
1,000%.
to have him as my quarterback. I am a huge Burrow fan, and he did put up MVP numbers. The
Mhm.
guy was and is. I
The
mean,
guy.
the
He's that
dude's the
guy.
guy,
He's
man. I mean,
that
this
fucking
guy
guy.
is the man.
Dude,
Um,
like look at their Super Bowl run when they made it to the Super Bowl. He got sacked 9 times, which was a playoff record against the Titans, and still won that game. Like this
yeah,
dude he just does it. And
no,
he's best of the best, man. This guy should
yeah.
be really MVP if we're talking about, which
He
we'll get
he
into the MVP later, but like
Yeah. He's a dog. He should have been second in voting, in my opinion. But we'll get into that. But whatever. He's
all
a
right, let's
dog,
move
man.
along. Yeah, let's get into it because I think all Philly fans don't even give a shit about this. And let's see if I'm right. Offensive player of the year, Mr. Saquon Barkley. Woohoo.
Who
Celebrate, Simon.
who thought?
Celebrate. They don't give
Oh
a shit.
my
Am I right?
god!
Am I right?
No, that's the dumbest award. Nobody cares about it. It's the MVP runner-up award that they do every year.
Yep.
Um, haven't given it to a running back since I think LaDainian Tomlinson. I think that was like my God with the
Really?
Chargers. I don't even
Early
know when
two
that was.
thousands.
Yeah,
Wow.
either early or mid fives, one of
Yeah,
them. Um,
yeah, yeah.
and it ain't gonna happen. You ain't gonna give it to a running back. It is,
Oh,
That's
are you
it.
talking MVP?
yeah.
Adrian Peterson, I think, after LaDainian Tomlinson.
AP got it.
Like 2008 or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah,
Did he
maybe.
really?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
but LT won it too, right?
I don't remember LT, but LT was before Adrian Peterson for sure.
Yeah, he had this one. LT had this one year. It might have been
It's like
2000.
2008, 2009 when I think Adrian Peterson won it, right?
Okay, yeah, he
I
had.
don't know if
With the
hey Simon, I don't
Vikings.
know if we talked about this. Do you like the decision to not give Saquon the record? Because obviously we know he could have got what 140 yards against the Giants or something. Do you like that
Oh,
decision?
that's a great question, man. It's a
Obviously they're
little.
in the Super Bowl, right? So if they
Yeah,
win it, it's the right decision.
It's exactly what I'm going to say. If they win it and he looks just dominating and fresh, but I don't think it was about Saquon. It was about these offensive linemen. Lane Johnson wanted we already know he wanted the week off. And he is the best offensive, you know what I mean? He's the best right tackle in the league. He has been for the last 10 years. He wanted time off. The guy's 35 years old. Landon Dickerson just went out with a knee. Cam Jurgens just went out with a back. So it looks like it was the right decision, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it
looks
would have
like
been
right.
cool. The coolest thing would have been able to see is him drop that on the Giants, where there was a
Yeah.
gift, the biggest gift from anybody, and who's dumb enough to be a Giants fan. Like it was a huge gift to the Eagles, right? I think that I agree with you guys where this is just a quarterback led award when it comes to MVP and being offensive player of the year. Like this don't mean jack shiz. It just means you finished second. Basically, you're the runner up in the
Yeah.
MVP race, and so good for Barkley. I think he just is like, whatever. I'm gonna go get the big one anyway. So,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
thanks to the Giants. But I think I wish they would have the headlines that we would have had. Barkley breaks the
How
NFL
fun is that,
record
man? I know, right?
Yeah.
on the Giants. Ah, that would have been
They
beautiful.
And he ended up getting his career high, I think, against the Rams when he went fucking bazooka,
this
270 fucking yards or whatever he had. But
yeah.
like
I mean, the
he in
question.
that, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kyle. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
you're
just.
good.
This just bothers me. Not you. This was talked about for a month.
Thanks for clarifying.
This. Yeah, I love you, man. I love you. This was talked about on this exact conversation about Saquon and the rushing record was talked about for I'm not lying, probably about a month. As it was getting closer and closer, this is all the radio talked about, and nobody came up with an argument for or against that makes you say yes, it should have been this way and not that way.
Yeah.
It's just like what we're thinking here. It's the same thing.
Whatever.
We
Yeah,
don't know.
it would have been cool, but it doesn't really matter or impact anything. I think it was better for your guys'
Yeah.
to
And
have
and
the
dude, you gotta
off.
love Saquon, man. Like this dude just like what I was gonna say is that against the Giants, when he could have broken his own, I think he was like 13 yards away. I think we
Yeah.
talked about it. Like he was 13 yards away from breaking his personal record. And Nick Sirianni comes over, hey, do you want to go break your record? I'll pull you out as
Oh
soon as
yeah,
you do.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, let the young boys eat. Like
young guy
you
eat.
can't
Yeah, I
hate
do remember
Saquon,
that.
man. Like you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
hate Saquon. He's
Yeah.
a dog.
Yeah.
Let's move
I
on to the
How
go
about
ahead.
his skinny ass white girlfriend, man? You see this girl?
I've just been seeing
My
Bill Belichick
God,
girlfriend all
boy.
week. That's the
Yeah,
only
Oh
bro.
one
my
I've been seeing.
God.
24 years old too.
Did you
God,
see?
He be doing.
Did you see he put the 2002 Super Bowl ring on her because that was the
yeah, I
year she was
saw that.
born?
That's weird.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That is
Hey
weird.
man,
Yeah.
when you got it, you just got it. You know what I
And apparently he got it all over the place, baby.
Hey, man,
Hey.
when you're the third best coach in NFL history, you deserve
All right. 8-time Super Bowl champion, also was the GM, did it all. All right. Yeah, it was all Tom Brady.
well,
Now,
eight times. What was he?
two-time as a defensive coordinator for the Giants.
That
Still in
counts.
Yeah, hell fucking yeah, it does. You want to get into it? I mean, we're talking about Vic Fangio. Does Vic Fangio get a ring? Does that count if he beats Patrick Mahomes for the first time in his
I
career?
didn't say they didn't get a ring, but the argument is you said head coach. You said the greatest head coach.
Yes. Okay, you're right.
So
6-time Super Bowl champion. Who has more?
No, 6-time Super Bowl
Who
head
has
coach
more?
championship.
Who has more?
You're right.
You're
Right.
right.
You're
Yeah,
right.
exactly. All right. That ends all the. Yeah.
Anyways,
that
I
ends-
don't even remember the 2000s anymore. I don't even know if he won any. I have no idea. As far as I'm concerned, he didn't win. He didn't
All right.
win.
Hey, back to awards. Back to awards. Not how great Bill Belichick is, greatest of all time. We know that. But defensive player this year. This was kind of crazy. This was the award that nobody really knew. Like it was like, was it Myles Garrett? It definitely wasn't T.J. Watt. Feist. We knew that.
we knew that.
But Pat Surtain II, PS2 from Denver, man. First corner to win this award since Stephon Gilmore with the Patriots in 2019. And
Wow.
I think this is well deserving, man. This dude is a lockdown corner. I love when they give defensive player of the year to corners because it's a when you're great, you don't get the stats at corner
Yeah.
because they don't throw at you, right?
Yeah.
Like that's your shut down guy. So fucking PS2, man, this dude's a dog and well deserving. I think they made the right call. Pat Surtain, defensive player of the year, baby.
Yeah, not a whole lot for me to say on this one too. I think that they definitely made that decision based off of what he was able to do, and he, like you said, he's a shutdown guy. Lock him up, baby. So not
Yeah.
much you can really say except congrats to him, and he deserves it.
Yeah, it's I mean the point you make, Kyle, is the good point where how do you know they're that good? Well, you just know, man. You just know. It's
When the
not
quarterback
on
don't throw your way,
you just know.
this dude's a dog, man. And
Yeah.
speaking of dog, let's get into the rookies. Offensive rookie of the year. Wow, surprise, surprise. Jaden Daniels. Obviously, like this dude had the best rookie season I think of all time.
Yup.
So no surprise there. And defensive rookie of the year, Jared Verse from the Rams, who was tearing up the Eagles and terrorizing your fans as well as the offensive line, but ended up losing anyways. But yeah, very well deserving. No surprises at those rookie of the year awards.
I think Bo Nix tried to make a big push for it towards the end. I think that they kind of started a rough start at the first 2 or 3 games. Obviously, it's gonna happen, right? And then after he got out of the jitters, he was able to go back in and get his thing going, and they had a great season. But I just don't think that the way Jane Daniels was able to make it look like he wasn't even a rookie, that's what made a difference. Like, he was able to just show up, do the thing that he needed to do every week. And yeah, there was nothing that you could say that Jane Daniels did except if you're Kyle, where he danced and they were losing. But either way, I think he had a great season. Why who else would you give it to? The guy didn't even look like a rookie. And then defense of the year,
No,
I
he did
think
not.
What
same thing.
what what award is this? Oh yeah, who gives a shit? Let's talk about the Super Bowl. Let's go.
Okay, before we get there, man, MVP. Let's talk about the MVP.
Oh, okay, yeah, we got to talk about
Jo-
this.
Josh Allen, MVP.
Not my
First
MVP.
guy in a long time to not be named first team All Pro at the position and win the MVP. We were talking about it earlier. I think with the like Coach of the Year kind of a thing, like it's his turn. And I think this was Josh Allen's turn to win MVP kind of a deal. I mean, you look at the stats. Lamar had a way better season, 41
Hmm.
touchdowns, 4 interceptions, crazy numbers. We talked about Joe Burrow. And obviously I'm a Josh Allen hater. He's so fucking hot. He's so awesome. He's so athletic. He's all this, whatever. But he did not have as good of a season. But what's funny is that like Lamar won the MVP last season off of the same kind of thing. Feist's favorite quarterback, Dak Prescott, had much better numbers than Lamar last season, but Lamar ended up winning MVP because of the like hype. It was his turn kind of a thing. So that's my opinions on it. He was not the MVP this season. I think Lamar had a better case. And we're talking about offensive player of the year. Saquon Barkley had a better case. He was definitely more valuable to that team than Josh Allen. And Josh Allen's a dog, not trying to say he's not, but Lamar should have won this MVP.
Yeah, did Lamar finish second then?
Mhm.
And then Saquon is third?
I think Simon, you wanted to talk about this. No first place votes for Saquon.
No, very upsetting. Josh Allen had the ball with 4 minutes left and he couldn't get the deal done, dude. He came up small. It should be Eagles versus the Bills right now. This is absolutely ridiculous, man. And then they go and give this guy the MVP when he came up tiny. He came up tiny. If he would have made it to the bowl, okay, maybe I give a little bit of wiggle room. Lamar had an unbelievable year. Unbelievable year. I mean, that was crazy. And he wasn't even close in the voting. What did all these writers just get together and do some baked Alaska and what is going on?
The same guys that vote for first team, like the All Pro teams, or the same people vote for the MVP. How did you put Lamar first team All Pro but not MVP?
I have no idea, man.
Doesn't make sense. Does not make sense at all. And that's the only thing that makes sense is it's your turn award. That's what it is. It's your turn.
Yeah, because you look at, like you said earlier, you look at the stats, Lamar had it. You look at the team success, Lamar had it. Yes, they did lose to the Bills, right? Sure. And I don't think that that would have made a difference if they want to won it or not, because I think it was already decided before then. But I agree with you guys. I just think Josh Allen got one because it was his turn to win it. He's not my MVP. I don't think he's the league's MVP. The thing that you look at is the way the numbers that Lamar put up. It was video game numbers, right? And yes, it does help
Insane. And
because
you
you
know,
have,
sorry to interrupt, 3 of his 4 interceptions weren't even his fault. Like
yeah,
they were deflections. This dude threw 1 interception this season. Like
yeah, and I think the
insane.
other thing to look at too is that the weapons he had, like how good your team was. I think that that's the other part that they look at. Josh Allen had nobody, and I think that that's part of why he got it is because he had nobodies on his team and he was able to do it with that. But I think you look at it overall, everybody knows this is Lamar's MVP. He should be a three-time MVP right now. But the thing is, Lamar didn't even give a shiz about that because he wanted to win the Super Bowl, and now they don't. They came up short too. But realistically, yeah, not my MVP. I don't think Josh Allen's it, and I think, like you said, Jacobs, it's a it's his turn
Your
kind of
turn.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to correct myself. I don't like stuff being like it was close in the voting. He only won it
Okay.
by like 20 votes. So that I'm going to correct myself on that. Um, there was. I also read this thing. There was a guy that actually gave Lamar the 4th place vote, which is insane. I mean, who does he write for? I don't even know. But it is not. It is unfair that it was obvious who should have won.
Yep.
The award, and I think it was a his turn type of thing. And how many has Lamar won, by the way?
2.
Too.
It's why you have a hard time giving Jokic the MVP all the time too in
Yeah.
basketball. You know what I
Right.
mean? I mean, you
Dude.
start coordinating these guys. It's going to be a higher standard. It's going to get tougher and tougher because you look back and what Jordan win maybe three
Regular
He
season
might have won
MVPs,
more
I
than
think
that.
he has three.
three.
Really?
Yeah.
Only 3. And
Yes. And go ahead,
wow.
Fies. Fact check me on that, but it's not what you think it should be. So I
Same
think a
thing with
lot of these
LeBron
people.
too, right?
These people are hesitant to do this, man. They're hesitant to
It's the same
to
conversation I was talking about with Bill Belichick, right? You're
yeah,
telling me that he wasn't the best head coach,
yeah,
at least 5,
yeah,
6
yeah.
times of his season. You know what I mean? It's what we're talking about. It's your
Oh,
turn
sorry, he
type of
won
thing.
5 times. It looks like.
Did he really? Okay.
Yeah, I guess
All right.
he
Well,
won
then
it
that
in
has
88, 91, 92, 96, 98. Those are his kind of repeat years anyway. But yeah, it's it's the same thing. Like I think we argue this with like MJ was obviously the best player of all time in that era, right? And he could have won it every year. But we
yeah,
argue the same thing for LeBron, how he was so dominating, especially from 2010 to like 2018. He
Mm-hmm.
should have won it almost every year. You look at the most valuable player
Mm-hmm.
in the league. You
Well,
have Steph. You
look at
have
it with the
you.
Super Bowl team, man. Look at Patrick Mahomes. Look at Andy Reid. Andy Reid wasn't even a thought for Coach of the
Yeah,
Year. Same
yeah,
thing as Nick Sirianni.
because it becomes an
The two
expectation.
Super Bowl head coaches, not even a thought for Coach of the
All
Year.
right.
Yeah,
Trivia question. Let's see how you guys do. We're just putting you on the spot right here. I just
There we
looked it
go.
up, so I didn't know it either.
Okay.
Who has the most NFL? Don't look, Fies. I know you
I'm not.
cheat.
I'm not. I'm
I
not.
taught you in
Hands up.
class, bro.
I
I
promise.
taught you in class,
I
bro.
promise.
Okay. Who has the most NFL MVPs?
Peyton Manning?
Fies. Fies. Let me give you a hint. Say what Kyle said.
Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, baby.
Peyton Manning, baby.
Oh.
Wow.
Five
How many
of
does he
them,
have?
man. 5 of them.
Wow. Who's the
And one.
second?
I think Tom has 3.
I think it's Tom. I think it's
Tom has
Tom.
3. He might not
It's
Wow.
even
either
be second, man.
it's either Tom or Andrew.
We can get into that fucking thing again. Oh, Aaron Rodgers has, I think, 4. He might be.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh,
thing
is it
is,
Rogers?
Might be. Might
but
be.
the thing is that award sometimes just doesn't mean jack shiz, man. You look at the players that are just dominating and what they're able to do, and they don't get awarded for it. It almost just becomes a popularity thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's about whose turn is it? Like that's how it really comes down to. Like you look at any sport, you look at who's won. Even oh my gosh, I can get in this with Messi against Ronaldo thing, like the
No, no,
Ballon
no,
d'Or.
no, 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 no,
It's
no, no.
just
This is not
every
a soccer
year.
podcast. This is not a soccer
Every
podcast.
year though, you look at it and it really does become in any sport a popularity thing. So
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Before we get into the Super Bowl, because I know this Philly John is ready to get into it. Let's talk about the Hall of Fame because that came out this week as well. So the guys going into the Hall of Fame: Antonio Gates, Sterling Sharp, Jared Allen, and Eric Allen are in there. First ballots that missed it: Eli Manning, Adam
Mm,
Vinatieri, Luke Kuechly, and Marshall Yanda. Crazy. I'll just give my opinions. The guys that made it: Antonio Gates, Sterling Sharp, Jared Allen, Eric Allen, definitely deserving. I think Antonio Gates still holds all these crazy tight end records. Sterling Sharp was a really cool story. I don't know if you saw, like, Shannon Sharp made the Hall of Fame in like 2011, and in his speech he was like, Sterling is the better athlete in my family, and he's still wasn't in the MVP. They had a cool little moment where Sterling walked down to Shannon's basement, and Shannon said, "Welcome," and Sterling was like, "What, to your house?" And he's like, "No, to the Pro
oh,
Football
that's
Hall of
cool.
Fame."
Yeah.
And it was awesome to see. But Adam Vinatieri missing it. I know he's a kicker, but dude, this
Yeah, if you're gonna
guy's
give it to a
most
kicker.
clutch dude. Probably of, like, you can talk about Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, but Adam Vinatieri's clutch dude of all time. This dude, I think, deserved to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Luke Kuechly, this guy, one of the smartest linebackers I've seen. I mean, he came in right as I started watching football, dude, and this guy was insane. And then Marshall Yanda too, man. This guy was one of the best offensive linemen I think of all time. Eli Manning is a hot topic. I saw some stats that he never made All Pro team. I can't remember the other things. Like, he was like a 2 or 3 time Pro Bowler. Like, he really had no good stats aside from those 2 Super Bowl years. Which that's the thing, though. You beat the 17-0 Patriots. You beat them twice. You beat Tom Brady. Is that enough to get you in the Hall of Fame? So I don't know. I don't like this list. Really, I don't like this Hall of Fame list. I like the guys that got in. It's hard to, because they only allow 4 people in a year, right? Each year.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I I think Adam Vinatieri and Luke Kuechly and Marshall Yanda should have got in over any of those guys that did get in. I'll just say that. Maybe I'm a younger guy and that's why, but I think those guys deserve to make it. Eli Manning, I can understand.
Yeah, I think that's my only argument. Is Eli Manning maybe? Um, Luke, I think he was a good linebacker, but he played for the Panthers, man.
Yeah,
Nobody
he never
nobody
had
has
any.
success
He made the Super Bowl once. I
with
think that
Cam
was the
Newton, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but even then, like, yeah, I like the list. I think the only other person that I probably would have switched out is Eli Manning because of maybe the young success that he had. But I don't think that you could really say the other two, even the kicker too, right? Like, it is
Vinatieri.
hard to have a kicker success. So I don't know.
Do you
Yeah, I
think he
don't
should
really
have
have.
made the Hall of Fame, or what are you
No,
saying?
I think the only one that didn't make the list that I would fight for is probably Eli Manning. The other three, I think that they were just
Really? I feel like Eli
decent.
Manning is the easiest one to leave out. I mean, like,
No, because
look at
he's the only
his
one that has had the success. Like, you look at Antonio Gates, what a freaking
Adam
dog.
Vinatieri is how many times Super Bowl champion? 4, I think. I think he won because he won 3 with the Pats and 1 with the Colts.
Oh, I guess you're right, maybe, but still,
About
just a
success,
kicker,
man.
man.
That's the argument. That's the argument right there. He's just a
Yeah.
kicker. How
Yeah.
important is that fucking conversation, man? Simon, you're fucking
Shut
screaming
up.
about Jake
Shut
Elliott missing
up.
fucking field
Shut
goals.
up.
What if he misses a field goal in this Super
Yeah.
Bowl, man? Like, that's the thing. That
Mm.
it's that important, man.
I
Just a
I would
kicker.
bring
Adam Vinatieri is not just a kicker.
yeah,
He is. He's
I would
all.
actually consider bringing Vinatieri in for this game right here. I'll get him out of the stands.
Yes.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
My 2 cents. Kuechly only played for 8 years. That is a problem. A linebacker to
True.
play for 8 years. That is not a very long career. I'm just
Hmm.
telling you.
True.
Cut short by either concussions or back or something like
He had a
that.
Yeah.
neck injury too.
Neck, and then
Concussions was a big thing.
Shannon Sharp or Sterling Sharp. A lot of people don't know he got cut by a neck injury as well, kind of like the Michael Irvin type of thing, because he was a 100 catch a guy a year. He's a phenomenal athlete, by the
Yeah.
way, very deserving. Career cut short. Eric Allen, that was actually, I believe, his last year that he could have made it in. I am so glad that they finally gave
Yep.
him justice. He's like a 10-time All Pro. He did it for the Eagles. He did it for the Saints. He did it playing for the Raiders. He was an excellent stalwart back there on defense. I mean, he was an unbelievable player. He was a fantastic football player. Eli Manning, if it's on numbers, he does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. He is not a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's whether you count these damn Super Bowls, and that can be an argument all day that people have, and I will have that argument either way. I get that. I get that. He beat New England twice, man. He was their daddy. I don't know how he did it. I have no idea, because he was not that good.
No.
I got to watch it.
Edelman. Like Julian Edelman is like, I think top 3 in touchdowns, receptions, yards, in playoff statistics or something. But he wasn't a regular season guy.
No,
and he will even talk about it like he doesn't even think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And a lot of people be like, dude, you were so good. Look what you did when it mattered, and you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And he goes, I don't know. Like it's not, that wasn't my goal. My goal was to win Super Bowls, and that's what I did. And he was a Super Bowl MVP, but at the same time, I don't think he ever had a 1,000-yard season. So how can you put a guy that didn't have a 1,000-yard season in the Hall of Fame? You know what I mean? Same thing with Eli Manning. Yes, he won those 2 Super Bowls, and that's impressive. And he made great plays when it mattered, when it counted, but outside of that, man, like, the dude was dog shit, really.
Has a kicker ever made it on the first ballot? I mean, if someone ever deserves it, we know it's him. He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He is the GOAT.
Yes.
And we had David Akers at the same time, and Akers was unbelievable. But, I mean, Vinatieri with the playoff stuff was ridiculous.
That snow kick still to this day, that Raiders game, that's insane. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, to make that kick, I think it was still only like a 30-something yarder, but it was right down the middle. And then he wins the next 2 Super Bowls are off his fucking foot. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, man, if anybody, like you said, if anybody, it's him that should have made it on the. I think that I can't remember. I think there's one punter in the Hall of Fame, and I'm not sure he made it on the first ballot. And I don't know about kickers too. Yeah, but if anybody, Adam Vinatieri, right? %. All right.
Yeah.
You did it, Simon. You made it an hour without talking about the damn Super Bowl. Let's get into it, baby. All right. Simon, take it away, man. How you feeling? You're in Philly. You're ready. We're hours away.
Good.
Here we go.
Feeling good. I know. I'm excited. It feels that you guys know. Well, 2 of us know this. 5s wouldn't know this. But the 2 weeks before the Super Bowl is crazy long, man. It feels like it
feels eternity.
It's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. So I'm ready. I'm ready for it to happen. I changed my. Can I change my prediction? Is that okay?
No, we want you to get.
I went 37-27. Mm-hmm. I actually think I want to go 31-21. That I just have to change it a little bit. I 31-21.
Clip them.
It's still a 10. What's that?
Clip them.
I don't know. I just think I was thinking about that 37-27, and I think it was going to take 3 field goals to hit that score. And I'm like, they ain't kicking 3 field goals, dude. They are going to go for it on 4th down. They are not going to be kicking field goals. So I just thought about that, but I still think Birds by 10. We're healthy. We have the better team. The national media is picking against us, and they're usually wrong anyways. So.
There's one thing missing from that list, though.
The fact that Fies picked us and that we might lose because Fies said we might win.
No, that is the
There's
good
that
point.
Too. I'm dressed in green all day, baby. I'm dressed in green all day.
Just please pick against us. Please, just do it. Just change your pick.
You know what, actually? You know what? Just because Simon said it, actually. Simon, I'm willing to put money on it.
Uh-oh.
I'm willing to put money on it.
What? Put money on what? What?
I think the Chiefs take it.
Yes. Okay, good. We're good, Kyle. We're good. We're all good.
Psych, let's go Eagles. The way they lose is me picking them and they end up losing, baby. I'm excited for this more than anybody else because if I am the reason why the Eagles lose, I will sleep so good
That's his
tomorrow
Super
night.
Bowl, man. That's his Super Bowl.
You guys better be texting me during this game,
Oh,
man.
dude, I got the
I
group
need.
chat ready. I got the.
Oh, I need the
We're ready,
emotional
man.
support, man.
We're
I need the
ready,
support.
dude. The thing is, man, and we said it earlier, but like, it should be a cakewalk. It should be.
Yeah.
The Eagles are the better team.
Paper
But
on
why are we
everything.
all nervous about it?
I'll tell you what I'm nervous about.
Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. That's why we're nervous.
Yeah, I'm nervous because I'm going to a damn Super Bowl party with a bunch of strangers, and if they mess up my Super Bowl, I'm gonna go off, dude. If they start talking about Valentine's Day coming up or something about the politics and the commercials, I'm walking out of there, man. I'm sorry, I'm out of there. I'm
Dude,
not
that's
dealing
a
with
great
that.
conversation to have, man. Like what's a perfect Super Bowl party? Like you're talking about what, 10 people?
Is my team in it?
8 of them. Well, obviously.
Well, it makes a difference, right? Because like for a regular Super Bowl.
Okay,
Go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
No. We were on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
I would say at least 8 of those 10 people have to actually be interested in the game. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody's going to be super invested, but when you're sitting there like talking about all this other shit that's going on during the Super Bowl, when your team is in it, like you said, when your team is in it, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, the game is happening right now.
Yeah, I don't care. Like if it's not my team, I'm there to drink and have a good time and eat some good food.
Yep.
If it's my team, there needs to be 2 rooms, right? One room for the casual fans, one room for the hardcore fans. If they come into your space,
I like that.
If they come in your space, get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They better be ready to contribute or just get out. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
That's how it should be.
There we
How
go.
about when people come in and they sit down next to you and they say, "Hey, what's the score? What's the score?" Like I haven't
glued in the whole fucking time.
I haven't blinked in 42 minutes,
bro. Exactly, dude, and especially with the Patriots, because they never had a fucking runaway Super Bowl. We won 6, all 1-score games, and even the Eagles one, it was back and forth, just stressing the whole time, dude. I don't know how you did it, but I was so worried to go into class the next day because you're still in Utah when you guys won your first Super Bowl, and I was like, son of a bitch, like. Time is good. I think I had you for first period that year.
I just know what it feels like to lose, Kyle. I
have
empathy,
nice.
man.
I know
you
nice.
wouldn't have. Well, wait a minute.
Your ass.
But I'm a teacher, and the things I would have wanted, like I could have said, "Fuck you, Kyle, you little piece of shit." I can't do that.
Here. No, this is the platform you can get it out now.
A little too late.
Oh man, I forget. No, I forgive and forget.
Big Dick Nick laid it all over us.
I can't even
whatever you want.
That was crazy.
I still can't believe that. Yeah, I walked in. I was like, I had my head down, tail tucked between my knee, and I was like, motherfucker, I do not want to go to class right now.
I would love to go back and look at our our text chain that we had. Do you know what I mean? Like I would love to be a fly on the wall. You know what I mean? And just go back and look at it.
But anyways, back to like what we were talking about the party and stuff. Like, dude, one of the best. Like, I hosted a party for that 28-3 comeback, and I was taking it on the shins. Feist, you were there, right?
Yeah,
I was taking it, man, and I'm getting text left and right, dude. Tom Brady's done. These guys suck. Good luck. And then boom.
pick.
Boom. And then we get it up, bro. I've never been just as happy, dude. Like it kind of sounds funny to say, but like when you care about these teams and you're such a big fan, like that is one of the best moments of your fucking life, and I'll never forget it. And even like I'll always remember this too, like the Super Bowl with the Seahawks when Malcolm Butler got that pick. I woke up my grandma. Like my grandma was assed out, and I screamed so damn loud. Oh my! That feeling you just don't get it from not a lot else, man. You really don't.
What?
Yeah, we had a lot of crazy things in that Atlanta game though too. I don't know. We didn't have a pick, I think, but we had a strip sack. That was
But the
awesome to
pick was the
hear.
one that I'm talking about. Is the one that decided
Yeah,
the freaking Seahawks' life to end very quickly. Making
man,
dummies.
dude, listening to that, dude, Matt Patricia is actually pretty fucking good defensive coordinator. He's actually kind of a genius. Because like they practiced that, man. And he talks about it. He knew they were gonna throw the ball in that situation,
Yeah,
and like
which
how
made no
hard of a
sense,
play that
man.
actually is too, like to get that pick because it's a pick play, and not a lot of people recognize it. But Brandon Browner, he was the corner that stuffed the wide receiver who was supposed to create the separation. That
Yeah,
was just as important as Malcolm Butler making the pick. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, and
And
it's
nobody
like
really realizes that.
you have Marshawn Lynch who's been going off and been doing his thing. Why would you like? That's one of the questions. It's almost just as bad as the whole Saquon Barkley move, right? Like, why would you do that?
Yeah,
Like, you have Marshawn Lynch who's been going off, and you decide to throw the ball.
Yeah, it's bonehead, man.
man,
Would you
dude.
have you
Go
guys
ahead.
ever had have you like in your lifetime in like your lifetime of Super Bowls, have you guys they've been mostly good games, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Panthers and Broncos one was kind of and
Where
then
they
the
got beat
Seahawks and
down.
Broncos won the year before. The Patriots won it. That was the terrible game where
Which one was that?
it was Super Bowl 48, I think.
Who
Yeah,
was it?
it was Seahawks Broncos, and the Seahawks just beat the fucking brakes off of
Oh,
it.
yeah, okay.
It was Manning's first year with the Broncos,
Okay.
and remember that fumbled snap at the out of the end zone for the
Oh
first play
my
of the game.
God,
Yeah.
yeah.
So other than that, I think they've been pretty good games.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, man, when you're when you're in it and your team's in it, man, that stress is just building the whole fucking time. Like
Horrible, man.
even the one of the worst Super Bowls people always talk about is the Rams and Patriots because it was 13-3, like there was no offense, there
Oh
was no scoring.
yeah.
But I just remember, man, because that was the year that the Rams had a fucking crazy good offense. And it was just like every time the Patriots couldn't get a first down, couldn't score, I was like, God damn it, dude. This is the time the Rams are going to score, and they just didn't. But every time, I was just like heart rate at 150, like fuck, this is the time that the Rams are going to score every single drive, man. And when your team's in it, it's a different feeling.
Well, I could tell you how it feels when you don't have to worry about it. So let me know if you guys want that segment. Um,
That'd be the perfect segment, Fies. We
that,
do a whole segment on what it's like not to worry because your team
Oh
sucks
yeah,
so bad.
what can I say, man? This is the best time of the year for me because I'm relaxed. I'm enjoying the game. I'm talking mad shiz on the teams playing. I remember when he would had those Super Bowl runs, and I'd be like, "Yo, this ain't doing jack
took
shiz."
it on
I'm
the shins every year, man.
Oh man.
Every year because we were the Chiefs. We were the Chiefs before. Everybody wanted us to lose. Nobody was going for the Patriots.
yeah.
That Rams game, man. Shout out our boy Wes. I had his dad threw his jersey at me in my face when
Wow.
Gilmore made the pick at the end of the game that kind of sealed it. Threw the jersey in my face. Never felt better, man. Never felt better in my life.
Hey, I got a question. That one where the one where Romo and Fies, I'm not trying to pick on you. This
Oh,
came
Des?
the one where no, the one where Romo fumbled that he was the holder and then he
Mm.
tried to run it in
Oh,
against the Seahawks. Did Seattle win it that year? Or was that the year that they lost to you guys, Kyle? Like because that Cowboy team was good. They almost upset the freaking Seahawks in that game, man.
We won it, I think, the 2014 season. So I
Let me
don't
see.
remember what season that was. Do you remember, Feist?
I'm
when
looking
it
at
was
our
a
I
24.
think
Yeah,
that
that was the
fumble
one that was
was
in Glendale.
yeah, yep. That's when we won in Arizona
No, I think it
against
was
the
the year
Seahawks.
before when they destroyed the Denver.
2006.
Yeah, that was early, early, early. Des dropped it might have been the year.
Oh, but they lost that year because 2006 Des would have not have been playing.
No, I'm talking about when Des dropped it. That might have been the year that
Oh
Sime's
yeah,
thinking
yeah,
of.
yeah, Yeah, then that's probably
Oh,
the
that was the Bears Colts. Peyton Manning's year.
Oh,
That was Peyton Manning's year. So the Bears, wow, they had this killer defense with Urlacher and they had crappy Rex Grossman as quarterback, and then Peyton Manning just tore them apart in that Super Bowl. I remember that Super Bowl.
speaking of Super Bowls, man, let's get into it though. How do the Eagles win this? Like, do you have to keep it out of Mahomes' hands? Is it the same old adage? Is that what we got to talk about? Keep it out of Mahomes' hands as
Yeah,
long as you can.
there's two schools of thought, and this is not my original thinking, but just everything I hear is, do you play your regular conservative game with Jalen Hurts? You run heavy on Saquon. Um, you pass it a bit, but you pass it very efficiently, and you'll be in the game. You'll be in that football game.
But I think that
Okay,
Vic Fangio is going to have something for that. So I feel like Jalen is going to have a big passing day. I think
but that's what I'm saying. The other side of the
the other side.
coin. The other argument is you go aggressive, right? And you try to. But if you go aggressive, Mahomes has a lot of time with that football, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you score quick, right? Okay. But if you run the ball and you try to control the run, now you're keeping it out of Saquon. Now you're keeping it out of Mahomes' hand by playing that typical style that we win
Yeah.
on. We have control of the ball for over 30 minutes, like usually like a 30-minute time of possession. So it all depends on what you want to do. Do you want to run heavy, keep the ball out of his hands, or you play aggressive? You try to win by 10.
Yeah. What do you think, Vice?
I could see it both ways too, Simon. I think that if you realistically want to win this game, I don't think you score that many points that you're hoping that they score. I think you just keep it out of Mahomes' hand as much as you can and just ride that horse that Barkley is. And now that your offensive line is somewhat healthy, you got Barkley who's well rested. Like this is the time for your Eagles offense to shine. And I think also the other part too is Hertz is gonna have to step up at some point, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it can't be just all on Barkley. It can't be just the run, smash mouth football. I
Yep.
think Hertz is gonna have to switch it up once in a while and just throw a freaking bomb to what's his
AJ
name?
Brown.
AJ Brown, and then that's gonna change the whole game a bit. And then now they're gonna start respecting the pass, and that's when you start going right back at it and smash mouth, just put it in their mouth. I As much as I hate
Hey,
the Eagles,
pause.
like I said,
Pause.
Put it in there. What?
put it in their mouth and just smash mouth football, baby.
Okay. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, man. I think you're 100% on it. It's going to come down to Jalen Hurts. My thing, I have too much respect for Andy Reid and fucking Starkeesian, right? The defensive coordinator. Why am I blanking on his name?
Spagnola.
Spagnola. Sorry, Spagnola. I have too much. They're gonna know. Like, and I think that they dialed up those blitzes. That we saw it with the Bills, and I think it's gonna be that thing. Simon, you brought it up earlier with Josh Allen. He couldn't get it done, right? He couldn't get it done.
Couldn't get it done.
Jalen Hurts has to get it done. I think Saquon might have 100 yards. I think like he'll have a good game. You can't really stop Saquon, but it's like the thing the Patriots always did is minimize the guy, take away the guy, make other people beat you. And I think
Yeah.
that's what the Chiefs are going to do. We're going to
Yeah.
take away Saquon. If Jalen Hurts beats us, Jalen Hurts beats us. So Jalen Hurts got to step up. Got to step up this game.
I taking care of Saquon is easier said than done. The guy rushed for over 2,000 yards this year, and everyone has tried to do it. Everyone has. That's what people are trying to do is take away that running game. I haven't seen it happen yet. We will see if they can do it. Hats off
Dude,
to them if they can get it done. Now, let me
if
pose a question.
if
Go ahead.
Saquon breaks the first play in the Super Bowl for some 60-yard touchdown, we're FaceTiming, shotgun and a beer.
Oh God, yes. Okay, 100%.
All right. Okay.
100%.
All right, what were you going to post?
100%. So if Jalen throws for 200 yards, do you think they win?
No.
He needs to throw for what? What do you think?
300 plus.
275.
Really? Okay. So you
I
think
think
it
so.
needs to? Okay. All right. So
Probably
what if
300
Saquon runs
plus.
for if Saquon runs for 150 yards? Okay, that's about his average is probably 125, 130. Probably his average is.
Bro, I wanted to bring this up. I just remembered this. You want to know what Saquon's average yard of touchdown is this season?
Oh, it's going to be sick, dude.
32 and a half. 32 and a half
That's
is his
unbelievable.
average yard like
Yeah,
for a touchdown.
yeah.
Insane. Insane.
That's a lot of it. I mean, it's his vision, but a lot of it is that these our offensive linemen can get down the freaking field, dude.
Yeah.
They can get to the second level, dude.
The fact
My
you've done
God.
this like so seemingly without Kelsey too.
Yep, it's
Without
crazy, isn't it?
Jason, man. Insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Well,
So
he
you're saying 150 yards. Is that what you're asking? 150 yards? Is
if
that enough?
Saquon runs for 150, can Hurts be under 200?
No, I don't think so.
You still think he has to be over? Okay.
Yeah,
I I realistically
Mahomes
think
on
that
the other side. That's what I think of. Mahomes on the
Yeah.
other side, under 200 yards. Like, no, that you got to get more, man.
So we got to have at least you're saying we have to have at least over probably 400 yards
total.
of offense, right?
Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're
And I think a
saying
big thing too is like you predicted. The more I've thought about it, if we're talking about switching up our picks, I want to go a 2-score game with the Eagles as well, where that just you got to keep.
yeah,
You
I
got to
know.
make it unreachable for
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes. And like
Yeah.
you said, the only other way is some crazy Brandon
Yeah.
Graham strip sack. That's the only reason, you
Yeah.
guys stopped the Patriots that season. Like
Yeah, I know.
insane. And I think that's where I don't have that when you pose these questions, it's like, yeah, you should be able to do it, but
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes is on the other side, and Andy Reid's on the mindset of it. So
Yeah.
I agree. I think that you got to have 150 yards from Barkley, and I think you have to have at least 300
Yeah.
yards from Hurts in order to do
Yeah.
something. And I think that defense needs to suffocate Mahomes like every freaking play blitz,
Yeah.
make him uncomfortable, right? I
Mhm.
make him, and almost like sounds kind of
Do you
so
guys blitz a
messed up.
lot, Simon? Sorry to
No,
interrupt.
uh, it's. I was gonna say the problem is we're not a blitzing team. We do timely blitzes. It's not a Fangio concept. Fangio
Mm,
concept is to play to mix up your coverages, switch them, but you stay in these zones. But the zones are like there's moving pieces in the zones
yeah.
where pre-snap the zone will look a certain way, and then the quarterback will go into his cadence, and they will shift. They'll shift their zone, and then the quarterback, if the time's running down, they might not have time to go to another check
The audible and stuff.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and I would say, Fies, the pressure. If we're going to get pressure, it's got to come up the middle, dude.
Mm,
They are weak up the middle, and this is where Jalen Carter and these guys. You have to see the freaking guards and the center getting pushed back just a little. Just make him move this way
yep.
or that way. Just make
Yep.
him move.
Because
Um,
if you give him time, dude, that's your
yeah,
biggest
And
mistake.
the
Don't
fact
give
that they
him
have
time.
Joe Tooney out at left tackle, like he would be so helpful if they had a decent left tackle to guard Jalen
yeah,
Carter. Like if he was inside, man, Joe Tooney. This guy doesn't get talked about enough. This is like his 6th Super Bowl appearance. If he wins it, I think his 5th Super Bowl. He
yeah.
won 2 with the Patriots, and then this would be his 3rd with the Chiefs. Man,
So he gets around.
this dude's a dog. Yeah,
Pause.
this dude's a dog. I think it's like 2nd all time in Super Bowl appearances behind Tom Brady.
Wow.
Like Joe Tooney's insane, and moving him out to left tackle, which he's actually done pretty well. But that is so good for you guys with Carter, man. Because if
Yeah,
Tooney was there, he could minimize it. I'm not saying that
yeah, yeah,
Carter's
yeah,
a
yeah.
dog, but like with him outside, Carter might eat. He might eat. And that
Be
could be a
awesome.
difference maker. And that's what you're saying. Like you might not have to blitz. Like I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I don't
Uh,
see anybody in that
yeah,
offensive line. Creed Humphrey's definitely a dog. He's one of the best centers in the league, but
yeah.
I don't think he can start Jalen Carter 1-on-1.
No, I think that Mahomes is going to throw the ball. He's going to have at least 40 attempts.
Yeah.
They're a dink and dunk
He's gonna have
offense.
to.
They're a
It's
dink and dunk
happening.
offense. They are. They're a
Nobody
dink and
talks
dunk
about that,
offense.
man. Nobody talks about
They're
that.
it's
And that's how
they
the
are just
Patriots won a lot of Super Bowls too. Dink and dunk, like you
yep.
said. 5
And there
yard
are going to
pass.
be so many third downs because Fangio wants to get you in third,
Mm-hmm.
um, and and we do. We force so many third downs. We are very good defense. We're going to see because Jaden Daniels. Remember on that first drive, it was 18 play drive.
Yep.
And that's the style of defense you're gonna see is it's just giving up short looks and short passes. I don't expect any explosive plays from the Chiefs. I don't think that's
No.
what they are. I mean, Worthy might eat once, maybe.
And maybe on an
Um,
end. I don't think so, man. I feel like I think about him with the end around. That's kind of his game. The
yeah.
little shovel passes, kind of. But
And then
the
maybe
ones that
they'll
are
eat
just
for
so.
10, 15 yards or
But they,
whatever.
I just don't. I can't imagine that though, because you guys are so deep. You're so disciplined on defense. I
Yep.
don't see you guys allowing it like you see that the Chiefs are able to get on other defenses. I
Yeah.
don't see it being able to
I
happen
think if
again,
we
man.
make them kick a couple field goals, we're
Win.
going to be in real good shape,
Yeah, it's a
man.
win.
Dude,
We'll be in real good shape.
I,
If Mahomes gets in the red zone and you can tighten the defense up and he has to kick, you know what I mean? I mean
yep.
that's going to be huge.
This is. I can't wait, man. This is going to be awesome. That's the
Oh, I'm
thing.
shitting
We
my
talked
pants
about
right
it.
now.
We talked about it. America wanted Bills and Commanders or whatever, but this is the better Super Bowl matchup. We
Yeah.
all know this, and yeah, it's gonna be electric for
Wow.
sure. I can't wait. Can't wait to get into it, man. Let's fucking go, dude. You
Let's
ready?
fucking go, dude.
You
Let's
fucking
go.
ready? Let's
Oh,
go, dude.
I'm ready. It's got to start soon, man. I'm about to have a heart attack, man. I got to go. I'm going to go downstairs and snort some Lipitor.
Maybe try some Alaska while you're
That's
down.
so-
Oh yeah,
Some
do some
Alaska, dog.
ayahuasca and I'm going to snort some heart medication.
Hey, when's the last time? I guess I'll ask you this: was the nation behind Philly against us when you guys played us in the Super Bowl?
No, I think it was more 50-50.
Still more?
You
Okay.
guys had built in the first Super Bowl we played against you. It felt
2004.
kind of down the middle, but once you guys started that dynasty, people were getting fatigued, man.
So what was that? 2017? Do you think
People were
most of
getting.
the country
I
was
think people
Eagles?
liked us more. I think
And
they did.
but I feel like not as much as this year, right? Like you got the country behind you.
I think
This
people
year,
are
man.
tired of this Taylor Swift stuff. I think they're tired of this junk. His wife, Mahomes' little wife, is some obnoxious lady.
Ugh,
You
don't
know
get
what
me
I
started
mean?
with her.
Don't even get me
Don't get
started.
with her.
Let's start it, man. E L
Hey,
G L.
ELGSERS Eagles. EAGLES Eagles. Let's go.
Vice, I want you to end it with your favorite song before we get into our Super Bowl reactions on the other side of this break. Vice, break it down for us. Give us
What's
a
the
song.
favorite song?
You know it. You know
I
it.
don't know it.
You know it.
I don't know it.
You know it.
I don't know it.
Simon, maybe we'll get him started.
Eagles fly on the road to victory. Oh, you don't know it? You're about to know it. You're about to know it.
And that's how we end it, baby. We're going to get onto the Super Bowl reaction on the other side of this break. Let's go. Hey, welcome back after the Super Bowl with a couple of Philly fans. Congratulations, Super Bowl champions, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Look at that.
Yo, look
That's
at this,
awesome.
man. The days of print media is over. I don't know how close. Can you see the price on that?
Holy shit.
That's what a newspaper
$7?
that's what they're charging for this, dude. Yeah. I
That's
bought 7 of them, dude. I spent $50 on 7 newspapers, man.
You have to, man.
surprised
I
you
know.
don't got them laid up all on the wall behind you. That would have been perfect.
You know what? I'm thinking I'm gonna. Yeah, I got some plans, man. I got some plans.
Hey, let's talk about it. Wow, like Nobody expected that.
No.
Simon, you were the one that said 2-score game. I was like, I think it's gonna have to be that way for them to win, and it just wasn't close from the get go. Man, you guys just were killing it. We had that crazy big pass to lead Jalen Hurts down for a tush push touchdown to start it out. But before that, that fourth down pass interference call on AJ Brown, I'm like, here we go again. Here we go again. She's gonna. I mean, what was that? There was nothing there. They do that every play in the
Every
NFL,
play.
man. Crazy,
Every
but
play. They're just trying to assert themselves into the game. I'll give it a little bit of credit. I think okay. I think they did settle down the refs. I think they kind of disappeared, which was good after you know what I
yeah,
mean. It kind of disappeared, and that makeup call, the subsequent makeup call after that. But I do feel that they disappeared. Overall, I think the refs did a pretty good job. I saw a ton again. Could be my bias, but I've watched the game. I've watched the highlights like 3 times already. The interior holds, man, on Jalen Carter and Milton Williams up the middle. They are
man.
holding these guys, man.
Oh yeah.
Very bad. There was like that one later in the game where it ended up being a strip sack, and yeah, it was exactly what you're saying.
You
Like,
saw that too,
oh
man.
yeah, dude, and he still got there. I was almost scared he was going to get illegal hands to the face because he
Oh
put
my
his
God.
hands in. That, like you said, the refs did disappear. I mean, Mahomes got sat on his ass 6 times, not one rough in the passer, not nothing. I'm like, holy crap, here we go, dude. And you talked about it. That interior defensive line, man, and it went off. And I feel like even Jordan Davis was popping off in this game. Jalen Carter, obviously the threat that he is, man. But whew. And Jake Elliott not missing any field goals in this game. Your dream was
Even
incorrect.
he was hitting extra ones even with the penalties, man. He was on fire. Couldn't miss.
got
I
his
bet.
swag back right when he needed it.
Yeah,
That's right.
he's a good guy, man. I went to this beer designer downtown. It was like my first year here, like 6 years ago. And Jake Elliott happened to be in there that day. He was collaborating on a beer with these guys, and he was the nicest guy,
Hell
man.
yeah.
You could just see that's who he is, man. He's a pretty cool dude. My hats off to him, man. I can't believe he hit the field goals, man.
Pretty good too. There was that one that looked like it was sailing right, but hooked back.
After the penalty. Yeah. Yeah.
But man,
It
and
was
then
that
how about birthday boy Cooper DeJean with the pick
dude.
6, baby? You saw he was not letting that ball go, dude. What a dog! And I can't imagine that was when the game started to feel like, at least for me, I don't know how you guys felt as Eagles fans, but I was like, ooh, I think this game's out of reach. And I've seen, Brady make the comebacks and things, but I'm like, this is different. Like the Eagles are playing so much better all 3 phases of the ball right now.
You know what they call him in Blankenship, right? The exciting whites, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes,
They were out there doing their thing. They had Cooper DeJean. I mean, come on. That pick 6 was awesome. I was pretty hyped when I watched that. But I was not feeling safe at that point. I was not feeling safe. In fact, I was the opposite. I was like, no, you never know, I could not get too excited early, but that was awesome. Cooper DeJean.
Yeah,
Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in 1947, and then Cooper DeJean did it again in 24.
Oh, something like that.
Oh man, but Hurts
know
did
his-
have. Go
I
ahead.
think he's 22. He's your age, guys.
He's younger than us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's younger.
rookie.
Are you guys 24? What are you guys?
25.
I'm
25,
24.
right?
Well, he's
So
old now.
he's younger. Can you believe that's crazy, isn't
We're
it?
at that age, man.
I know.
Sean just told me I moved up an age bracket, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? I've never done that in my life."
I gotta enjoy these 6 months, man.
Yeah. Oh man, and it didn't end there. That wasn't even the last touchdown for you guys in the second half. After that, Hurts threw an interception, but Eagles defense didn't allow anything. Straight 3 and out on the next play, or next drive, I should say. And then kind of goes a little bit back and forth. Bond gets another interception. I know he's not one of the exciting whites, but dog, all pro. He gets the interception that leads to the next play. A.J. Brown getting the touchdown and putting you guys up 24-0 at the half. and there wasn't like you guys probably different when because you're the fan of that team, but I was like, even with a minute 35, I just don't see Mahomes and the
Yeah.
Chiefs being able to get anything going right now. They had 24 yards of offense in the first half, man.
Yeah.
Who's done that to the Chiefs? I don't think we've never seen that.
The minute I saw him get there with it, the minute I saw them rushing four and what that looked like, the
Mhm.
two the so the edge, Sweat and whoever was playing, Nolan Smith or whoever, they were rotating, right?
Yeah.
First of all, the edges were beaten. Josh Sweat had 2.5 sacks, man. And then the push from the middle, there was no pocket to step up into. So even if he felt the pressure from either one of the sides, he can't flush to either side. Well, what you can do is you can move forward. There was no forward.
Nope.
And you can move between the gaps. But they had this great gap discipline. Not only were they pushing, they were aware of what was going on, and they just dive into these. I mean, it was unbelievable, man. It was unbelievable. And
Masterclass.
my God,
It was, yeah.
y'all, they played. It says 64% of all of the defensive plays were a four-man front, meaning 7 guys were in coverage. 7 guys. So if they had 5 on the line, the Chiefs, right?
Mhm.
Plus Mahomes, I'm just telling you, plus a running back. So they have 7 guys back in the box. Okay, it means they only have 4 guys out in coverage versus 7 guys. Man, that's what it does to you. What?
Crazy.
And he's got to He's got to read this zone in a microsecond because of this pressure. There's no way. There's no way.
And the Chiefs never asserted any run game either, like
No.
ever in that game. They never even tried it, and that's what it felt like the Eagles were willing to give up by playing like that. And it was impressive. It was a defensive masterclass. Seriously.
Yeah, they only had 49 rushing yards in the entire game, and Mahomes was over half of those, on those QB scrambles. But
Yeah, he was
you're right,
scrambling almost every
there's
play.
just nothing he could do, and we never saw Mahomes kind of make those kind of turnovers. You know what I mean? But like you said, Simon, he's running for his life out there, and he's got nothing else to do. He can't see Cooper DeJean, can't see Zach Bond, even though it looks like so easy on TV. Wow, it's right there in the middle. But when he's out there running for his life like that, he can't decipher it. Like you're saying, that's a great point, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing. Look, man. So what are you going to do? Just hear me out. So now let's say, okay, now let's max protect. So let's bring one more guy. Well, now you're 3 versus 7, right?
Yeah.
Now you're 3 versus 7. The only reason you would max protect is to start running the ball because you're not going to find 3 receivers in a 7-man zone. So if you start running the ball, they were behind. You blink and they were down. 17.
Yeah.
17-0. They would have had to have tried to establish a run on the first 2 drives. They would have had to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they never had a chance, man. They really didn't.
No.
And shout out your boy. We haven't really talked about him, Jalen Hurts, man. He did exactly what I thought. Like, not the way, obviously they blew the brakes off of him, so it wasn't as critical. But Jalen Hurts stepped the hell up in this game. Super Bowl MVP, obviously. And just like I was like Saquon, 25 carries, 57 yards, only 2.3 per carry. They were shutting him down. Like there wasn't a lot of room, you know what I mean? But they shut that down and everything else opened up, man. AJ Brown had a crazy good game. 2 touchdowns in this game? No, just the one. And then Devontae Smith had that touchdown. Just a masterclass. All 3 phases, man. All 3 phases. And we got up 34-0 before they even had their first score, which ended up just kind of having garbage time stuff. The final score ended up being 40-22, but those 22 points, that was a 40 to like 10 game, really, in my eyes, like 40-13 or something with those conversions.
And that's not count. I agree. Maybe 40-9 or well, they wouldn't have
kicked a field goal.
Yeah,
so like maybe
40-13 at the most, but that's assuming we would stop scoring. We could have still put up, that was a 50-point game, y'all. Come on.
Absolutely. And you got to give credit where credit's due. The Chiefs obviously put a lot of focus into stopping the run game because, I mean, Saquon's been so destructive, and they stopped him, but everything else was clicking because of it. So, I mean, you got to give credit to Jalen Hurts because how much has he got this year of people saying, oh, he's not that great, he can't pass that well, he's just a runner, which, by the way, he did run well as well in this game. He found a lot of gaps. He was great in that aspect, but he was also completing above 70% of his passes, I believe. It was a great passing game. And, yeah, they were getting it done.
1,000%, man. Jalen stepped up when he needed to, and like I said, he's a Super Bowl MVP, and we even have Kenny Pickett getting some Super Bowl action before guys like Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. No, Kenny Pickett in there on the field. I know our boy Feisty has Wi-Fi issues, I guess. I guess he really couldn't make it on today.
Wi-Fi issues.
Yeah.
might be the most convenient thing I've ever heard. But
Isn't that funny, man? But, wow. I mean, what else can you really say? I mean, 6 sacks, like I said, they were all over him, 49 rushing yards. But man, what an awesome day. And even with this blowout from the beginning, this was still broke records at $126 million average viewers for this Super Bowl. So everybody that was boycotting it, supposedly, yeah, right. Yeah, man. And you guys out there in Philly already burnt down the entire city. We've seen you. Philly Johns are going nuts, and we got the parade on Valentine's Day, baby. You guys excited for that?
Oh my God, it's gonna be awesome, man. So they just gave us Friday off. We get parade day off, so
Nice.
we're not. So with President's Day, it's a 4-day weekend. It's gonna be unbelievable weekend of partying and celebration, and it's gonna be. It is what you think it is. There were 3 million people at the parade in 2018, I guess you would call it.
Right.
3 million people on the route. And I was out with you guys. That was I think my last year there. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was.
I think you were there a year or two after.
One more year. I think one more year.
That's when we graduated. Yeah.
I was. Yeah. I was out here the year of COVID. I was out here 6 months, and then COVID started. So I just want to say Mahomes was horrible.
Yes.
I don't care about the pressure. He had some. There were times where he had. They were not going to win that game. That's not what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. He was awful. He was awful. He missed so many receivers with horrid throws. He's misreading the zone. He's not making any kind of checks to move any. They didn't check at all. Like Mahomes never looked at a defense and reconfigured people in the route and calling checks. I don't know. He was horrible. Brady was never like this in a Super Bowl. Nope. And like I said, that I'm not talking whether they should have won or lost. We knew, everyone in this chat and Fies knew the Eagles had the better roster. We all knew that.
Yep. And
Mahomes was the X factor, along with the coaching, and we could talk about that. They were out-coached. And Mahomes was horrible, and the headline should not be lost. It's the GOAT conversation for now. And trust me, I don't think that they're not making this. They're not making the Super Bowl next year. They're not.
This team, man.
No, they almost need to rebuild this whole stupid line. You know what I mean? It's bad.
Like I talk about, they still got Joe Tooney out there at left tackle, and he's doing okay, but that's not where he belongs. He's a left guard. It's a totally different position. I'm glad you said it, man, because, I was definitely rooting for your Eagles because of this, because of that legacy like we talked about. And it was just crazy to hear everybody before this Super Bowl, even all ESPN, everything is Mahomes is the GOAT. Mahomes is the GOAT. Hey, look who it is.
Hey.
Oh, you're a little too scared to come on after this Philly win.
Bro, you missed the
Eagles fly to the road. I don't know. Your mom's making me practice it. So
Hey, you just
Yes.
you
Can you
just
sing?
missed it, dude. Dak Prescott was traded to the Canadian League for Doug Flutie. He's your new quarterback.
yes.
Cowboys
At this
got
point, dude,
relegated.
at this point, I'll take anybody, not Dak.
We
At this
were
point,
saying that Kenny Pickett got some playing time in a Super Bowl before Dak Prescott.
and he has a ring.
That's right.
Imagine being Dak Prescott. Imagine being a Cowboys fan and cheering for the Eagles on a Sunday night.
Oof.
Mm.
Ooh.
Must have hurt. Must have
Oh my
hurt.
God.
Man, the
What are
way
your thoughts, man? We basically kind of just went through the whole game. Obviously, it was a blowout, and I don't think any of us saw that coming. But I think Simon was just saying we all knew, even you knew, the Eagles had the better roster in this one, and they showed that.
Hey, and what I say, like the whole game, I was like, make him feel uncomfortable. And you know what's crazy is like Simon, you texted us, they weren't even blitzing. Like that's the
Not
crazy
once.
thing. It was that front four that just were dominating the whole entire way. I mean, you guys, they did one thing right, and that was shut down Mr. Quad Barkley, right?
Yep.
But everything else was going off. I said it over and over again. You shut him down, freaking AJ Brown's gonna go off. And what did he do? Popped
Go
off.
off.
What did we say that Jalen Hurts needed to do? At least throw for 250 yards. I don't know if he quite got there, but he he went and did his thing. The defense showed up. That defense was insane, man. I could see the frustration on Patrick Mahomes' face, Kelsey's face. Father Time caught up to him.
Oh my God. He looked awful.
So bad.
Yeah.
So bad, man. It
But
looked
what's he supposed to do? Catch those ground balls as well? I mean, he
Yeah.
wasn't getting a lot of lovely looks.
Dude, he's about to retire. I'll promise you that. I put money that's it. That
Yeah.
is it. That
I
looked
agree.
horrible.
Maybe Andy Reid too.
I think Andy Reid's probably got 2 more years in him.
He said
So,
he said he wants to do at least one more, he said.
yeah, 1 or
Really?
2 more. But
Oh,
I
okay.
think the biggest thing right here is that they just did not look comfortable. Their whole offense was just shut down, man. Those Eagles just hit every cylinder and they never stopped. It was like every quarter they came out and just put some kind of points. And also, how about my boy Elliott, baby? Let's
Yep.
go!
Mhm.
One guy didn't
Don't miss.
miss. He knew he was on the chopping
Yeah.
block, dude.
First
He said,
ballot Hall of Famer. First ballot Hall of Famer.
hey, that's a kicker.
No
I'm
question.
gonna
If
say
Adam
deserves to be
Vinatieri
in
won
there.
3 Super Bowls off of his leg, then I don't know if anybody can make it in.
Hey man, the dynasty may have begun, y'all. I'm just telling you right now, man.
Yeah,
That's the
Who-
youngest defense
you
in the
got most
league.
everybody locked up pretty much, right? Like, are you losing any notable free agents?
Yes.
Possibly.
Yes.
Who are you losing?
Okay, so Josh Sweat, who just had the game of his life, is a free agent. They're saying he's going to command almost $20 million a year, edge rush. Zach Bond, free agent.
Oof. He's been good.
I know Milton Williams, who he had 2 sacks last night, 93.
yeah.
You saw him out there.
Yep.
He's a free agent, man. So we have some work to do.
Graham will probably retire. You think?
What's that?
Brandon Graham retire?
I don't know, man. I guarantee he's still got a little bit left. They're going to ask him to stay, and I know he'll stay. They will ask him to stay.
Hey, my
He
favorite
He'll have some
comment.
tread on the tire, man. You saw him. He didn't look that bad, man.
No,
Not at all.
He was out there. He had an impact for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, my favorite comment of the night was what's his name? Your head coach,
Sirianni?
Sirianni. He said to Kellen Moore, "Let's run that shit back, baby." Hey, he's trying to keep him somehow, some way. I know that it may not be a signed deal yet.
Kellen, I don't know. I mean, the Saints job is pretty terrible, so I can see that. But when you get a head coaching job, come on. If I was Kellen Moore, I'd be like,
I
shut the
wouldn't
fuck
take
up,
it.
man. Let's just enjoy the Super Bowl.
I
Whatever.
wouldn't take it.
That was funny. You wouldn't take it?
No, I would stay with the Eagles, dude. To be honest, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Like
how much more money is he going to get, though?
That's exactly. It's a huge difference in pay.
When you're talking millions of dollars, Fies, when you see that money in front of your face, that's a different
Bro, I'm
story.
signing my life away for millions of dollars, but
There you go.
Well, and
There
these
you go.
opportunities, they don't, especially for first timers, they don't come around just all the
That's true.
time.
That
You
is
know what I
true.
mean? So, and
just think
I
that
feel
he
like the
has the
Saints could do
success.
something, but
Yeah.
but when you have success, but
Can't
you
blame
had
him.
Syme saying that this wasn't it's crazy, but this wasn't the offensive coordinator for this style of offense. You know what I mean? Like this wasn't the perfect match, even though
No.
you guys ended up winning it. But I think it could be good for him, and you guys could find someone that more fits it. And you build around Saquon. Jalen Hurts is there. You've already paid Hurts, right?
God, yeah.
Yeah. He's got a big.
Yeah, he's
He
got
was the
4
number
more
one
years.
at one point, right?
200,
4 more years?
250,
Oh,
5
looking
years,
good.
$250 million is the first year of his contract.
Yeah,
It's
and I
actually
don't
the way that it was structured. It gets bigger and bigger, just like
Oh.
old Prescott there.
Hey, just like me and Dak Prescott just get bigger and bigger every year.
60 million.
Goodness gracious, dude. Hey, man, all I know is next year's
Go
our year,
deep.
baby. Saying it right now.
There you
Next
go.
year's our year.
I've heard that.
I got a question. Does the salary cap, like, they did make the horrible move of what's his name from the Jets? Who did we sign that edge rusher Hunt or what? And we're
You
paying him
guys
we're paying him like 15 million a year, and for 3 years he's not even in the lineup anymore. Can you just dump a player and just pay him to go away? And does that count against the cap?
Yeah, it will count against the cap. Like
You can't just pay him off, be like, get out of here,
Yeah.
and
nope. Like Russell Wilson, he got paid basically by the Broncos last season.
Yeah.
Like he got paid like 38 million or something like that. And the Steelers only had to pay him 1 mil, the veteran min. Because
well, what if you gave him to somebody and said, here, it's $5 million?
yeah, you could do that.
Could you get 5 million off of your?
Yeah, if you trade him, if they accept it, then yeah, you could take
Like
that.
somebody else
Some
could
money.
take it on, but I think you still
Okay.
have to. You would still be hit with dead.
Mhm.
What do they call it? Dead money or dead
Dead cap.
cap or something like
Yeah.
that. Because
Okay.
if you release them, you're still paying them, and that happened a lot to the Broncos and the Steelers. A lot of the times where they've freaking gave money away and then
Yeah.
let these players walk. So
Yeah. Well, and
Well,
Sam, go back to your point. I agree with you. I think this could be the start of a dynasty. I mean, what did you get Saquon on? How many years?
3.
3 years. And I think you could continue to sign him back once that's up 100%.
Yeah, what's he gonna
extended after
do?
next season? You know what I mean? I mean, there's no way you want to leave the best offensive line like that and the success you can do with
No.
that. I mean, you guys are primed, and like you said, we knew that this was the better team, the best team in the NFL. The best team in the NFL, I think, proved that it was you guys this year. We thought the Lions for a little bit, maybe, the Bills or the Ravens, but it was you guys, complete team. Yeah, you'll have some, like you said, some of those guys you're not going to be able to keep. You probably, because you got Zach Bond on a super cheap contract because he was just a special teamer, right?
2.5 million.
Yeah, no way that's going to happen, right? So
He played so good this season. Oh my
might change
gosh.
a little bit, but you still got so many core pieces. Sirianni ain't going anywhere. I hope all Philly fans and all media can just give that dude a break. I mean, 4 years he made the playoffs every year.
Yes.
And 2 Super Bowl appearances,
Super Bowl
1 championship, man. So I mean, this dude's a dog. He's a genius, and Vic Fangio probably staying too, right?
Oh hell yeah, he wants to stay there. His wife is from, I think, Jersey. He's coming here to retire and die, I think.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, first time he ever beat Patrick Mahomes in his career.
Bro, can you believe the Dolphins gave him up and said, we don't want you to Fangio? Can you believe that?
That's typical Dolphins.
What kind of
man.
organization is that, man?
Jeez.
the same ones that the Giants that gave you the biggest gift of your life.
What is wrong with these teams, man?
I'm trying to give away Dak, but apparently nobody wants him.
Yeah, right.
What do we gotta do to get rid of that guy, or to get rid of actually Jerry Jones in general? But
yeah,
some
man, the only
organizations-
thing that sucks on Monday, you wake up, there's no more football, boys. Football is over, and we're gonna have to wait a long, long time for it. Like we said last time, though, I'm super excited for the NFL draft yet again. Let's go, build our team, man. And yeah, I love the idea. We got to do maybe a live reaction and get us all on here, and yeah, watch the draft and have a good time with that. I've said it pretty much a dozen times now, but I think that the Patriots are definitely going to be on the come up next year. I see a 7-9 win season is the high with as long as we build through the offensive line, which I've talked about a bunch of times. So can't wait for that. And like you guys said, the Eagles, man, you guys are primed to stay winning. You have the perfect formula, and Jalen Hurts proved that he can do it if he needs to. Like Sean said, there ain't no doubts about this guy anymore.
Never should have been, but he was criticized. That's for sure.
And the Cowboys will always be the
Stinky.
Cowboys.
Over under.
Amen.
I've been
Five.
doing this for the last 5 years, okay? There's nothing to hurt anymore.
All right, Fives. Over under. I don't know, 7 wins next year. I'm serious.
You think so?
No, what do you
What do you
think?
think?
Over or
What do
under?
I think? I think that they're probably like
Is that a good number, right? That's a good line, though, right?
It was pretty good.
Dude, when you're talking about you're gonna have the same line as
Dude,
the
you have to
Patriots.
play the Eagles twice. You have to play the Commanders twice.
I think that they end up. I think what is it? 16 games, right?
No,
17.
17.
17 now.
17, yeah. 17.
17. I think they'll probably end up being 11 and
11-6.
no. I think they get 12. I think they're gonna be 12 and
The
yeah.
delusion is deep.
I think okay. Hold on. You guys can clip me. I think we're gonna be 12. What is that? 12 and 5, right? If we get Ashton Genty, right? These are my things. If somehow I'm doing the ceiling thing. Right? Okay.
I love this. You better clip this, man.
Clip it, bro.
This is unbelievable.
I think that we're gonna be 12 and 5, or probably 11 and whatever 6, if we can get Ashton Genty, and if you sign a second wide receiver to help CD Lamb. Those are my only two things. If
With
you
the
can
rookie
make
head
that
coach?
happen, I think that you can do it. I don't think it's going to be the coach. I don't think he's going to do jack shiz. I think Dak's going to have to prove himself, and it's going to be a prove it year for him because you just got paid big. It's time for you to put up or shut up. So I think if they can get Ashton Genty, that running game going again, and you get help for CD Lamb, yeah, 11 and 5. That's what I'm sticking with.
12-5.
Or 12 and 5, yeah. That's what I'm sticking with.
12 wins. My God, how are there
Flip
12
it.
wins out there?
Flip it. I mean,
That
realistically,
was what they had 2 years ago, right? When you
Well,
guys
yeah.
made the
When's the
playoffs.
schedule come out, Kyle? When's the schedule come out?
I think it's like May or something like that. I know
Okay.
that
Dude,
opponents
that'll
are
be
out though.
great
You
content, man.
should be able to look up like opponents and stuff.
let me look.
Bro, we can go through each of our teams and just do the
Get the
win,
I think we
do
did.
the win loss.
Hey,
Yeah.
never mind. Hey, never mind. Never mind.
You got some stuff.
I changed my mind. Let me. Don't clip that, bro. We play the Chiefs, the Packers, the Chargers, the Vikings, the Commanders, the Eagles, the Lions.
Broncos, Lions.
You're looking 0-17.
You do
Dude, I cannot. Dude, not only was 7 a great line, this guy said 12. He said 12 wins.
with the rookie head coach too. That's the thing, man. I know that they were a 12-win team 2 years ago, but
years
that's
ago.
what Mike McCarthy calling plays, man. You still got a coach that is unproven, even as a play caller. You don't
Bro,
know.
I'm just
who
an
he's gonna
NFL fan, okay? Let me take back what I said. I'm just an NFL fan, all right? Let's
How
go
do you know
Lamar
that-
Jackson. Let's go C.J. Stroud. Let's go Bo Nix. Anybody else? Not looking
Dude,
good. Never
Patriots
mind.
have a decent season. We got the Titans away, the Bucks, Saints. We do have the Ravens, Bengals. That might be tough, but then we got Raiders, Giants, Panthers at home. Falcons at home. I think you might be seeing the Patriots with a better record than the Dallas Cowboys next
Hey,
season.
9-8.
9-8
Okay,
for
that
the
sounds a little
Cowboys.
better, dude. Thank you.
hey,
9-8,
we'll have to
baby.
make a bet about that. We'll have to see who's going to be the better team next year, the Pats or the Cowboys.
That would be a good one. That could be neck and neck.
But we all know who the best is. Say it again for him, Feisty.
E-G-L.
Fly, Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles fly. I hate this
Oh,
shit,
right,
bro.
man.
I hate
I
this.
know.
I
Hey,
hope-
it's over though, man. You guys hung in there. It's over.
Super
don't
Bowl
have-
champions, the ELGLES Eagles, baby.
You see somebody else spelled it wrong yesterday too?
No
Dang
way.
it, man! It was just some guy on the street, I think.
Yeah,
Or
well, yeah.
maybe not.
Surprising.
Bradley
Not
Cooper got it
surprising.
right. Bradley Cooper
That
got
was
Yes,
that
he
was
did.
that was important.
Yeah,
We
set
need-
the tone. That's what he said. Set the tone for the boys. If he fucked that up, you never know. You never know what would have changed.
You never know.
Man,
Oh,
congratulations to you guys, man. Enjoy the
Thank you.
parade. Send us some clips. We'll have to try to maybe get that out on the page for your favorite couch
Yeah.
potatoes. And man, can't be more excited for you. I know exactly what that's feelings like. Sean, now you know how that feels twice now.
Twice, baby. We're back.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
One of these days
thank
I
you.
will know.
I think that Jerry Jones is out going to live you, but so I don't know if you will.
I can't
We'll have
even
to
believe
see.
this.
Thank you, boys, for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. We'll definitely make sure to have in some NFL episodes here and there when we have some news, some trades, some free agents, the draft, like we said, and yeah. If Simon wants to keep talking about these Eagles, man, we'll definitely keep doing it. Look
How's
at that.
fellas? How's that look?
I'm legally blind.
You hear he paid $7 for that and he bought seven of them.
$7, 7 copies, $50 for his
Oh my
newspapers,
God.
man. It's unbelievable.
That's insane, dude.
It is
What are you
crazy.
trying to do? Frame each one for each day of the week?
I'm just giving them away. Maybe I'll send one to you guys.
There you go. Well, thank you all for joining us again. Make sure to check out all the clips on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, episodes on Spotify and YouTube. And yeah, we still got the NBA season. We got some crazy trades we got to talk about and everything. So we'll definitely have to get in that. So we won't leave. We're still here for you guys. So thank you all. Have a good one. Till next time, we'll see you on the couch.